his wife, the First Lady, other members of his cabinet are going to the executive mansion where His Excellency the President, his wife, the First Lady, other members of his cabinet are going to have a meeting with the Georgia senator. And some guests are already seated. His Excellency the President now makes his entry into the meeting.
Come. Yep. How are you? Oh, how are you? Good to see you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I want to take this time to unofficially welcome you to the Executive Mansion, Tea House, and also officially welcome you to Superior. We'll now take this time to ask our Bishop, Gilly Brown, to lead us in prayer.
And Mother Kelly Brown there gives the invocation.
We thank you, Lord God, for this day. We thank you, Holy Spirit, for your faithfulness. We thank you, Lord God, for taking charge of the entire atmosphere. We thank you for your goodness and your mercy as you do it forever. Be praised, Lord. Be lifted. As we go through this now, you alone be glorified. And let the devil be terrified. In Jesus.
Amen. That was the opening prayer
Thank you very
done
much
by
for
Bishop
that
Gertie Brown.
powerful prayer. Without further ado, we'll now ask our acting Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Honorable Mama Ability, to welcome the delegation.
Your Excellency, President Joseph Imawaka Sr., Madam Tatsuo First Lady, Honorable Reverend Dr. Warner, and delegation from the Ebenezer Baptist Church, the Providence Baptist Church members present here. Mrs. Cynthia Lanford, here, distinguished officials of government here, members of the delegation. Welcome to the Executive Management Tea House. It is my distinct honor and privilege, on behalf of the Office of the President, to warmly welcome you all to this important engagement. Today's visit represents not only a continuation of the long-standing relationship between Nigeria and the United States, but also a reaffirmation of our shared values of democracy, freedom, and mutual respect. Mr. President, the presence of the Honorable Senator and his delegation underscores the deep and historic friendship that binds our two nations. As acting Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, it is both a duty and a pleasure to facilitate this dialogue which we believe will open new avenues of partnership, strengthen existing cooperation, and contribute meaningfully to Liberia's path of peace, development, and progress under your leadership. At this point, Your Excellency, with your permission, I welcome you all to the executive action.
Thank you very much, Madam Minister. Without further ado, we'll try to make it very brief. So we'll do self-introduction just because the delegation is live. So basically, you will speak to me and you'll state. I think that will be better to get more fast. So we'll start from here. Actually, we'll start from there. Self-introduction, your name and state.
I'm Gary Lee. I came from Arizona originally, and now I'm in Atlanta.
I want Jocelyn.
I'm Richard Dupree. I'm the historian of Ironwood.
My name is Miles Tyreek Aklu, and I'm from Atlanta.
I'm Nyla Holt, and I'm from Georgia as well.
Kenny Taylor, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Corliss Taylor, Atlanta, Georgia. I am Rita Rapinski.
Greetings, I'm Wanda Tyree. I live in Napleton, Georgia. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Janet Toddy, and I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Val Thompson, published International Folk Magazine, Houston, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, and now I'm in Monrovia, Nigeria.
I'm Kathy Morrison, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Ramona Finney, from Georgia. Carol Gorge, Atlanta, Georgia.
Marty Grant, Atlanta, Georgia.
Good morning, Cynthia Turner Grant, Atlanta, Georgia.
Dr. Jane Morgan, cardiologist in Atlanta, Georgia.
Virginia Harris, Atlanta, Georgia.
Bronson Woods, Associate Minister at the Vineyard Baptist Church.
So the self-introduction has now ended. We move back to the program.
Thank you very much. And I will take this time to
And we
also
will now have opening
welcome,
remarks,
to introduce our guest here.
purpose,
We have
and vision.
officials of government here present. We have the Director General of the Cabinet, Nathaniel Kwabo. We have the Senior Advisor to the President, Dr. Adolphe Conant. We have the Political Advisor to the President, Honorable Abdullah Kuto. We also have the Economic Advisor to the President, Honorable Sartoni. We have the Legal Advisor to the President, our umbrella speaker. And we also have another advisor to the President, our Christian Thomas. We have Assistant Minister joined here, John Sack. We also have other members of the president office here present on the recognized day. And of course, I'm your humble servant, the head of the diaspora office, the president. Now we'll take this session and turn it over to Cynthia Blanco for opening remark, purpose of the mission.
Madam Blanford would,
Reading while we
she will give the
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is
Open
Cynthia
your
Blanford,
arms.
and I've had the honor and privilege
purpose of this
of
meeting.
being in the company of His Excellency Joseph Lima Boyka, Senior President of the Republic of Liberia for more than 15 years, when he was Vice President, and now he's President. I also had the honor and pleasure of introducing the First Lady, Madam Kaduma Yata Boyka. It's such a pleasure to see you again, Madam. You're looking excellent, and it's our pleasure to see you today. To my dear friends here today, who this mission would not be possible without the Honorable Mama Kability, Acting Minister of State. We appreciate all that you've done to help make this trip a wonderful and successful experience. May I also greet my other colleagues, Madam Cooper, Honorable Gus Cunning, all the friends who are here today, who have been a part of my life and my family for over 50 years. And if you're new, but many of you are old friends. But beyond all of that, if I forgot you, please apologize in advance, but I'm honored to be here as the Managing Director for Blanford Thompson International Consulting and International Focus Magazine. Senator Warnock ran into me about 6 months ago in Target or someplace we were shopping. I was on my way to Liberia, and he stopped and he was on the phone. He said, let me just speak to you. Be patient, Mr. President. He said, we have a trip that's coming to Liberia, and I want you to help manage. I said, oh, I'm your public servant, I'm your humble servant, whatever I can do. So I want to honor him today, Senator Warnock, the delegation from Ebenezer Baptist Church, the members of Providence Baptist Church, for all the good work and service you have done on behalf of this delegation. I'm a humble servant. Again, Mr. President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as my partner Val Thompson mentioned, we've opened up an office. Part of what the president has asked me to do was to bring African Americans home. We are bringing you home. And I'm so honored, Mr. President, that we're taking our charge. In that regard, I'd like to turn it over to Brother Bronson. He's supposed to speak, I'm sure, at some point, but I've been asked to turn the microphone over to Your Excellency, to Pastor Reeves, who will talk more specifically about the mission and purpose of this important trip to Liberia. This is not the first, this is the inaugural, and there'll be many more to come. So again, on behalf of Blanford Thompson International Consulting and our magazine, International Focus, we're delighted to be here. And my dear friend Erasmus, we were waiting for citizenship. I got my permanent resident card, Mr. President. We were waiting for citizenship, and I want to build my home here, and I will rest. Thank you very much.
So when you give the mic to a Baptist preacher, you say, let the church say amen. 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 For the president, for the deacon president, sister, my own former student at the Baptist Seminary, our First Lady, and to other government officials, Dr. Warner, Senator Warner. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. Mr. President, several years ago, Senator Warner and I got together and became good friends. And I've been by his church many times and preaching. He was here in 2014. And he had promised then that he would be back the year after. And he just couldn't because of Ebola. And many things happened. We'll tell you a little more about it. But we built a sister church partnership between both historic churches in Atlanta and here in Monrovia. Ebenezer is America's Freedom Church. Providence is Liberia's Freedom Church. Amen. This is where the Declaration of Independence was formed and all of that. And this is the only place in the world where a church gave birth to a nation here in Liberia. So we're glad to be a part of this sister partnership. And as Senator Warner had promised, he's back here. On Sunday, we signed as part of our worship service a formal sister church partnership between both historic congregations, where we'll be doing a lot of work in community development, justice issues, health, education, other things. that will benefit Liberia, because Providence is the way to the development and the birth of this republic. So we were honored, we were blessed, and I was going to make sure he was not going to leave here until he had some time to spend with you. So thank you for the privilege and opportunity. Thanks to the members of the government who made this possible. Thanks to our friends and brothers and sisters from Ebenezer, members of Providence who are here. We just wave to us. It's a team of Providence. We have worked with our team from Ebenezer. We're glad to see our brothers here too. So welcome, bless you. So thank you for this opportunity. I'd like at this time to turn it over to Senator Warner, who will tell us a little more about why he's here and some of the things that we're doing together as both churches and for Liberia.
Thank you so very much, Mr. President, Madam Boycott. It's wonderful to be back in Liberia. I'm so grateful to the members of the Ebenezer delegation, about 20 members of Ebenezer Baptist Church, spiritual home of Martin Luther King, who traveled with me on this mission trip to Liberia. As Reverend Samuel Reeves, my good friend and brother, has already said, I was here in 2014, along with one other assistant pastor at my church, and our archivist and photographer who's here again today. And my goal on that trip was to connect here on the ground, preach at the Providence Church, but I planned to come back a year or less later and bring a delegation. As you know, this was February 2014. We were hit with the Ebola crisis here in this country and was unable to attend. You may or may not remember, but you were kind enough to give me and Reverend Shannon Jones, my assistant pastor, an audience with you at that time as vice president. We had a lovely meeting. I also had the honor of welcoming you to Ebenezer Baptist Church a few years ago. So it's great to be back. And we know that you recently traveled to the United States. We watched with great interest as you went on that trip to deepen bilateral relationships between our two countries. Even as you have been elected, Liberia has been elected to the UN Security Council. I look forward to engaging you in my other role as a member of the United States Senate in all the ways that we can be helpful there. Please feel free to call on us. I think I speak for the rest of the members of the Black Caucus there. We have a record number of Black senators in the United States Senate, a whopping 4 or 5 in the Senate. To be a friend and an ally as sisters and brothers in Christ. So as we explore that, sir, and you consider your goals and your agenda for the nation, feel free to call on us. We're happy to engage other members of your staff. Your senior advisor taught at my alma mater, Morehouse College. So if there are ways that we can not only be helpful with respect to our church, but all the churches that we're connected to in our various conventions, let's consider how we might do that future. Again, it's wonderful to be back here.
Senators receiving a round of applause after his address to the president.
Thank you very much. Yes, we look forward to more mission to Liberia. We'll take this time to also invite you all in December for the Diaspora annual return. And of course, the Diaspora conference in Washington, D.C., September 26, 27, and 28. He's right around, stop by. His Excellency the President here. Things like you, please always delegation for the conference and the annual return. Okay, I will call the chief of protocol who will now introduce the reverend.
So again, folks, we have the U.S. Senator, the Georgia Senator specifically, as well as the Reverend and Associate
That's some old
Reverend
friends
of
here.
the
Maybe they want to say something.
Ebenezer Baptist Church of Georgia, here at the Tea House.
You
Here is
celebrated
a meeting with
yesterday.
the President. As usual, he's cracking a joke. But this visit is very significant. He's
You know, when the president, you have to say something, I must say something, President.
so that is Dr. Connolly,
Always
senior
grateful when the
advisor
president
to
talks
the
about
president.
Atlanta, Georgia. And every time I think of Atlanta, Georgia, of course, Morehouse, I'm always having that nostalgia. And every time I see someone from Atlanta, Georgia, they will always remind me about those times that I was there at Morehouse. I taught at Morehouse for 18 years. But I had to come back home because home needed me. And with the help of now president, who was vice president at the time, I had to take the opportunity to return home. So it's always a pleasure to see the senator. We met again and again, and others from Georgia. I had a wonderful time in Georgia. I helped promote Liberia when I was in Georgia, and Georgia became part of Liberia. And so there is no doubt that with this relationship that is being built, that the president is so cared about. We've been to Georgia after the president won the election, and we've committed ourselves to ensure that this relationship will be deepened and continue to be. So it's always a privilege, and I'm very grateful to the president for always giving me the opportunity to say something about my times in Georgia. Georgia in my heart.
And that was Dr. Connolly addressing the delegation.
Okay, just before he come up, we'll take 1 minute remark from his brother, the Alpha, and here.
Good morning, Your Excellency, Brother President. Will all Alpha brothers in the House kindly stand where you are briefly? Including our Senator. You can be seated.
I'll call for Alpha brothers to
Brother President, I'm told by protocol towards the end of the program, we will be making a presentation to you that the Eastern Regional Vice President for Alpha has brought for you from the general organization. In addition to that, Brother T. Nelson Williams, who delivered your message to the general organization, will present you the response from the general president. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. We'll do the presentation at this box.
As you see the mic with the chief of Ambassador Kennedy, we know this is indication that His Excellency the President will make his remarks on. But folks, continue to stick and stay with us. It is our pleasure bringing you up to speed with happenings of the presidency.
Distinguished guests, members of the press, distinguished citizens. On this occasion, visit Dr. Wallace
delegation to Liberia to include members of the clear. It is my pleasing duty at this time to present to you Senior President of Portugal Liberia.
It's obvious.
The mere voice, many others have already welcomed me. Go on, so happy to have you here. The last time you were here, she said, was really time of being born up and we over. So I've been here a long time. I was in Japan when we heard you had arrived. And so, of course, you Mr. Wakai, members of the cabinet, and to your delegation. When I heard such lies, when the group has arrived and from Atlanta, I said, well, maybe since you have been here too, they came to find out what's wrong with her. But she said, she go down. But I want to say this is a special time for me because we believe this is the time to be here. We try to do everything to make our brothers and sisters in the United States to know that this is their country, this is their home, and that one reassure them that whatever, and like I did the last time when I went there to attend a conference, and those are, and since you know that we've been working on that many years back, the 22 Black universities started working with the universities here. And a lot has happened. I want to say this is come back to Liberia. I heard a lot of things that you want to do, but we are saying that we were, when we heard all these names called around the table, I said, when they hear all of the names where they be, sometimes we can sit there and stay much longer and we know all the names. But we're not going to do that this time because once you hear, he was saved, but you were here at a rainy time. It's a rainy night in Georgia. But I'm sure the rains have not impeded your movement around the country. But we want to say at this particular time, Liberia is right and open to our brothers and sisters. We have a lot of teachers already been generated. And we want to encourage them. There's a lot that can be done here. And that's why we want to say to officially launch the diaspora to make, we know that this invitation is intentional. We want to make use of all of the resources outside this country and our brothers and sisters, especially in the United States, and choose it here. And I wanted to say, Liberia is a country that belongs to you in history, but this relationship is right here. And so we're very pleased today to have you here. And what to say, even when you
been here. A lot of gratitude to you, what you've been doing here through the churches, through immigrants here, through scholarships, to students who have left this country. I don't think there's anybody around here who is a Liberian who had gone to the United States education or something. And so Liberians know the United States. And that's the country we gotta listen to. And just that is for the first time at the University of Nigeria, I had appointed an American at the university. There's a Dr. Kunalemo. We are really committed to work, getting to build this country. It's been a long time, but nothing happened before the right time. And to what we want to say to you, thank you very much for coming at this time. There's another group that arrived much earlier. I didn't get to see Senator Reeves, whom I met with Congress here. And I had hope that I've been here. But we know that the doors are open and that we're working in building relationships of all kinds, including the sister airport relationship with Mexico for a long time. So all of that so that you know that we like to have this two-way open and to reconnect in a way that is voluntary, is intentional. Some years back, I was doing a research that most people in Nigeria didn't know that the love of liberty brought us here, but from the Baptists. It became national, but it was the Baptists. Love of liberty. And that love of liberty is still what we want to be connected. Because this is the country in which we can. And we're so happy and proud of you for all the efforts you made to excel. And I think something that we're proud of. So I want to say on behalf of the government of this country, express our pleasure to see you here. Thank you for coming in this time and to reconnect. We've been trying to do everything to make sure that this friendship, this relationship, this time is going to move our and cause potential. We also investment in this country. We want to see education. We are making some efforts now to re-launch our education society. And most of the education in this country has been through the churches. Most people here have gone to school through the churches. The Baptist church had always been legal. And so, among the many things that we like to do, whether it's in agriculture, it's in education, we are willing to listen to you, and we are willing to work with you to make sure that you know that this country is the country that is. I hear many other countries say they are the gateway to Africa, and we say Nigeria will be the destination. We look forward to seeing what a thank you mean. I don't know how long we'll be here. The need tonight, okay. But very happy to see you.
Thank you very much, His Excellency, President. Can we give another round of applause to the President? We speak good English yet. Well, anyway, without further ado, we will now call upon Alpha to shut 2 minutes.
Good morning, His Excellency, Your Excellency, Brother President, and First Lady. Good morning. Brothers, please stand up. Just stand where you are. Brother President, we have the pleasure of introducing to you our Eastern Regional Vice President, Brother Rashid Smith, who oversees the International Association of Alpha Chapters. And he's here today to present to you and give from the general organization. And after that, Brother T. Nelson Williams will very quickly tell you and give you information from feedback from the conference in Philadelphia.
Your Excellency, Madam First Lady, it is a pleasure to be standing before you today. I am Brother Rashid Elijah Smith, the 30th Eastern Regional Vice President of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Your Excellency, while we regret that you were not able to come and partake in the Brotherhood with us in Philadelphia at our General Convention, we decided to bring you a special gift all the way from Washington, D.C. to commemorate one of the highest distinctions in the fraternity. Let us present to you your life membership plaque. Everyone. Your Excellency, please understand that at all times, the men of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated will be standing to your left, standing to your right, in front of you and behind you at all times, my good brother. And I think it's fitting. I think that it would be fitting. Now, in closing, I end my remarks with a special prayer that I believe all my distinct brothers down in that black and no gold know. My brothers, oh Lord, may the true spirit of fraternity rule our hearts, guide our thoughts, and control our lives, so that we may become through the service of all. Amen. Thank you.
Brother President, I have the honor and privilege of representing you at the 119th convention in Philadelphia last month, where we had 10,000 plus brothers. And I read your resolution, and it was received well by the brothers. Brothers are encouraged, and it was because of that gathering that Brother Smith and a few other brothers came. Unfortunately, some left on the Air Iraq flight this morning. The brothers are resolved that we will partner with Liberia, the International District. We even went a step forward further by having a meeting on Monday with the former president of LBDI, Brother John B.S. Davis, to start talking about how brothers can come and partake in the economic part of Liberia and what we can get. And as we're having that meeting, Brother President, there was a young brother, 35 years old, who just completed his doctorate degree at Oxford. And as we're talking about business and what they can do in Liberia, the first thing he said, Brother Williams, I want to be a citizen. And that brought goosebumps on my skin, because I was like, this brother just finished school. And after his first time in Africa, he wants to be a citizen. And I thought it was a joke. As he was leaving this morning, he said, Brother Williams, I'm serious. I want to be a citizen. So, Brother President, this is what you are doing for Liberia. You are encouraging business development, and we will put our people to work. While I was there, I had to pick up, I always bring little toys for you when I get back. And so we brought one, the black Ogo. This one is custom made just for you. So that's one, and of course, our dear red, white, and blue for Liberia. So we want to just put this in here. And then I will also now, the final thing is have our executive vice president to pin you with the Alpha VIP pin, and then we'll conclude. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for this surprise. I know, I remember when I was a non-judge, the first time we were judges, and someone had a quiz, and he said, can you get someone here who is an alpha, first alpha? That was the I want to see the being an owner, being part of this very important. That come a lot with country, TLC, other people, guys. We did a lot, especially during the board and the president fellowship. It continued to find itself as good citizens of this country. I'm honored to be able to be the one in Liberia with my son, also who just got leave from the state tonight, 07 for that 20 years also. So I'm working with you. I want to thank you for this month. And as always, we will always make our
Thank you very much.
So, His Excellency the President started off with by gowning the senator, and then he gave out pins to a member of the delegation, and now Minister Ability, as well as the First Lady and the political advisor, Madam Cooper, are all pinning people. So this is, so he says he loves Liberia. That's a good one. So every member of this delegation is going to get a pin. This is beautiful, truly, truly beautiful here. Very nice pins. We're trying to get you a better angle that shows the president. As well as senior members of cabinet who are helping to pin these guests. It's truly, truly a beautiful sight here. And you heard from the mouth of one of the guests that he loves Liberia. And in case you're just joining us or wondering, this is a dedication from Georgia and New York as well. These are members of the Ebenezer Baptist Church, and as along with their senator, that's the senator of Georgia. They have been in Liberia for a couple of days, and they have been, amongst other things, connecting with the Providence Baptist Church. In their own words, the Providence Baptist Church is the church from which Liberia was birthed, and their own Ebenezer Baptist Church is a church where it's another historic church in the U.S. So it intended to form this sister church relationship, and the senator, being an advocate for social justice and community development, thought it wise to come along. And as he came along with the team, they have been having series of meetings, meeting people from the members of the Providence Baptist Church in Liberia as well as others to sort out ways for partnership and to cement their sister church relationship. He has pledged his support. He has told the president that he's willing to liaise with the Black caucus at the American Senate whenever he's called upon. He has also said that in his remarks that he has been here before. He was here in 2014 before coming to Liberia. Before coming to Liberia. Now, he was here in 2014 and he had the thought to come back to Liberia a month later. But unfortunately, a month later was like a year later, sorry, and that was like the heat of the Ebola crisis. So he couldn't come, but then here he is. And it has been a very wonderful meeting here. He has been gowned. Other members of the delegation have received pin. Some were given by the Honorable Mama Kabilibi, the acting Minister of State here at the Tea House of the Executive Mansion, and others are being given by the First Lady, Madam Katimu Bwakai, and the political advisor to the President, Honorable Magdalena Cooper. The room is full of smiles. As you listen on, there are giggles in the background. These members of this delegation are happy to receive their pins from the president. And it's very beautiful. I will just give you a glimpse of how the pin looks right here. So that's it right there. That's the seal of the Republic. That's the seal of the Republic right here. And this is something that most Liberians proudly wear. And I guess it's the best gift that His Excellency the President could give to people who are here in the interest of Liberia, in the interest of the Republic and its people. And so, as they mentioned to the president earlier, some of them are going to be flying back tonight. But I guess this is going to be in their hearts. This is going to be something that they remember, that when they had a meeting with the president to say and now that's the Alpha brothers there receiving their pins as well. So for them, this is like a gift, an exchange of gifts, because they gave him some meaningful items that are meaningful to their brotherhood. And here they are receiving gifts as well. But these meetings, folks, these meetings continue. They will always be wonderful. They will always be important, because here we had Dr. Kone, who had been a professor at the Morehouse, meeting one of his students who is now a senator, and the Alpha brothers presenting their gifts to their, as they say, brother president. And you know, it is a beautiful thing. I would think, though, in my opinion, it's a beautiful thing. These exchange of gifts reflect camaraderie, they reflect friendship, the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful friendship that we have. and across the room there are little charts. I would hope about the significance, the great significance that the great significance that these gifts. So that is Anthony Prinsky there receiving his own pin. And having a photo up with the First Lady of the Republic of Liberia. Folks. Is that right there is Honorable T. Nelson Williams. And he's receiving his pin as well. I guess he's the last. I guess he's the last of the Alpha. He's the last of the Alpha brothers. There. And I was right.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
I was right. He is indeed the last person to receive this.
So we'll now take
the program continues. And the senator now looks like
thank you so very much. I know that
a traditional Liberian.
The entire delegation of members of Ebenezer Church, our brothers of Alpha. I say thank you so very much for this incredible visit and for this kind and magnanimous gesture of friendship. Let's hear it for the President. Thank you, Mr. President, our First Lady. Again, it's wonderful to be back in Liberia. I was saddened shortly after I left 2014 to see the ravages of Ebola. But I'm all the more heartened to stand here today and see that you survived. You have been through the fire and the flood. You've led your country through many challenges, disasters, natural and unnatural. And yet you stand very witness to the resilience of our people. Amen. Know that we will continue to stay in touch with you, that our friendship is sincere, it is deep and abiding, and whether through citizenship or friendship, each of us in our own way will find continual ways to connect. I said to you that I'm here as Pastor. Deeply honored to have added another title. But in my role as pastor, I would like to offer a blessing. Let us pray. And I saw a great multitude of men and women, boys and girls, standing on a hill. They stood shoulder to shoulder, they looked into each other's eyes, and they were not afraid. And I asked the angel standing there, what is this? And the answer answer came that this is the kingdom of God and you with love and justice. So I asked, where is this? The answer came, it exists already in the hearts of those who have the courage to believe and struggle. So I asked, when is this? One standing there responded, when we learn the simple art of loving each other and sisters and brothers. And so, gracious God, deepen now our friendship and our kinship. Teach us how to bear witness to your love and justice in the world. We ask now your blessing upon the President of Liberia, Madam First Lady, this entire cabinet. We pray that the grace of God that can reach us wherever we are will make its way through every corner of Liberia. We pray especially for those who are on the margins of the world. For you came to preach good news to the poor and to set the captives. And so let it be so in the name of the God who loves us in the freedom and frees us into love.
Thank you very much.
That was a wonderful prayer by the senator. And folks, this is a room full of delegates
Okay, can we
from the
give a
Ebenezer
big round
Church.
of applause for the delegation? Thank you very much.
As
We'll
well
take
as-
the first thing, and then we'll proceed for full section outside.
as well as ministers and other officials of the cabinet,
So, full thing by the director of
um,
cabinet.
brothers of the Alpha fraternity, and others. So we now have the food of thanks being delivered by Honorable Nathaniel Kwabo, who is the Director General of the President's Cabinet.
The President oversees Liberia. I think the President's right to believe that's 1819. Ideal Liberia was missed. In 2019, 200 days after, we had a problem receiving our African brothers and sisters. As the President always said, Liberia's right for business, Liberia potential of our brothers and sisters across the pond, I would say. And our Liberia, like, that's probably now in America. Our country achieve this potential, establish right business. You know, a lot of African countries will have the capacity to join us and really realize our potential as a nation. We are historically, we are naturally endowed with a lot of wealth. We think you can join us to get us started. So I would like to thank you so much for coming. First, by your desire to want to open up opportunities for our country. And we hope that your coming this time will not be the end, it will be the last. When we go back, this trip will be much more significant in terms of our impact will be felt by other citizens. So as great I take advantage of the National Conference that is coming up in September. We had a lot of conversations on just Therefore, we have a opportunity for you all to join us, brothers and sisters across the pond here in developing our country. Hopefully, the material effect will be felt also in the U.S. among our brothers and sisters in Africa. So with that, so welcome. Thank you so much for coming, and we wish you journey blessings. Thank you.
Yes, that was Honorable Carbodo. He is right. Liberia
Thank
is
you
open
very
for
much.
business.
Well, since we open up with prayer, we're going to close with prayer that has already been said. So with your permission, I ask you for your permission to accept the prayer offered by the senator as our closing prayer. All in favor say thank you. God bless you. So we can proceed
Amen
on
to that prayer. So we will now.
Watch your step.
All the other people will be for the president.
I mean, the guest house.
So it's now time for a photo session.
So folks, delegates are being the delegates as well as the so all of these faces, you see all of these individuals who are walking out of this side of the tea house are members of the dedication who are being positioned and assembled for a photo opportunity with the president.
So we got the second step.
No, this is okay. You guys are taking a picture there. Careful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome. No, you guys.
Okay, so now. Y'all go buy some more. Y'all can see that?
Yeah, you guys are.
Excuse me, can you trace it a little bit? There's some things in the back. Can you move? Yeah.
Can you get muted?
I can't hear you. I think we had enough of that.
Yeah, well, I like the fate.
Huh?
It's giving me some tropical vibe right now. You know what I mean?
What is?
Your fate. Like
My
what you got wearing? I mean, what you got going right now with
Oh, my
hat
bad handicap.
and all that stuff?
That's bad hair day.
Yeah,
Anyhow.
that's giving me like Amy needs some
I
vacation.
know that Joseph Boga going to the right now.
Maybe making it seem like she wants to go
No,
Jamaica or
no, she
Saudi or
watching
something.
Joe Boga and he being jealous. Watching
George?
President Boga with meeting with the Georgia Senator Raphael Wanda.
Oh,
he's went to Liberia.
He's in Liberia.
That was just I think they left I think yesterday or so. And
That's
that was
wrong,
video playing. He's a part of some fraternity. What is that? They were calling him brother President. Some fraternity. I don't know. I don't know what that is, but I'm like, did he go to school in the U.S.? How come? Like, I guess they
do because all of those
they probably have some in Liberia.
I mean, all of the Masons and all that stuff, like everything imported from America into Liberia.
Right.
So that brother will kind of like, cross.
So they call him brother president, brother deacon president. I was laughing, my brother deacon president. This is new, but yeah, that was nice. A lot of people want to go back to Liberia and for citizenship.
Yeah.
That's good. They want to go and invest. The brotherhood. They're loving it.
Yeah.
So I guess a lot of them after their visit, well, Senator Warner been here. I think he went there during Ebola 2014. He was. Oh, hi everyone. See, we forgot to speak to the people today. Pardon my man. Hi everyone. Hello everyone. John, George, Francis, and my own self, Daddy Adama, Bindu Sharif. Oh, that's funny, right? Yeah. So thank you for coming and for everyone who's watching and the ones who are commenting and the ones who are not commenting. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for waiting. Today is Saturday, August 30th. So this is my sister's birthday. I actually forgot to send her picture to put it up and wish her happy birthday. But yeah, we're here today. We're supposed to have a guest today. I've been calling her. I sent her the link and I did not hear from her. So I'm not sure if she's gonna appear.
Well,
yeah.
Yep.
So here we are today. What's going on? What's
That's
in your
what's going
mind?
on.
Yeah, like I was saying about that video, I think like President Warner, hey, I'm speaking in his life. Senator Raphael Warner, I think he went to Liberia in 2014, like during the Ebola crisis or something like that. And that was his first time. He wasn't a senator then though. And
He was a pastor back then. He's a pastor. He's a pastor. Right?
He's a pastor for Providence Baptist Church.
He's a renowned pastor from.
So he took a delegate, like a large delegate with him, and I'm pretty sure some of them wanted to go after they heard about the whole exchange with President Barker and Trump, and they wanted to go after the whole history. Georgia has some kind of ties with, like, historical ties with Liberia, right? In that library, I read something on that, and I think a lot of them, kind of figure it out, and they want, whenever they hear that, they want to go and see. That's what's happening to Liberia right now, and they just want some kind of sense of belonging. They want that citizenship. They want to be like, and which is a good thing. You can't stay away from my land and march your territory. That's all I'm saying. Okay, you're welcome. Not on my land. So to it, whatever
What
the
are you
person
talking about? Jeez, man, you and I have marched your territory.
Those people who are going back there to go buy land to go for citizenship. That's what I'm talking about.
Even if you're not hurrying up, even your land out there, they will say.
But now on my land, they're
I'm
welcome.
telling you. You can mess around all you want. You sit here, that land will be gone.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
And I'm pretty sure that land is located, because you know what I mean. Now, once you've marshal territory, I know you guys got the great parts.
I'm an ocean view girl, but I don't like something.
Exactly.
I like a river and an ocean view.
And the wave of African Americans that are going there right now, these
I'm
are
pretty sure they're looking for it.
Those are properties they want so that they can have access, going fishing on their boats and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So, so those beachfront properties going fast. But you see, it's not even in Monrovia. Like, I feel like even outside of, like, you go in Cape Mount, like.
That's another area. Cape Mount is very, very
right.
frustrating.
Those are nice places, But yeah, man, like, people are going, like, Liberia is hot right now.
Really, it's blue over there, like, really.
It's clean. It's clean, extremely clean,
Tourism. That's what we keep talking about. Tourism. The government can use some of those things and make money.
But this is huge. I mean, having a U.S. senator goes there, like, and not just any kind of senator, but a black man at that rate. You know what I mean? That's carrying a lot of volume. You know what I mean? It's almost like, every African American follow that guy, and the fact that he's from Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, there are a lot of
black people over there.
There are a lot of black people over there. It's almost like, and not just black people. I'm talking about black people with money.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
people in the church, yeah.
There's a reason why they call it Black Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like, it really is. There's money in that place.
Atlanta, and those are busy. You see them a lot, and there's those rich black boys,
right?
Like Wall Street.
Black Wall Street, man. Black Wall Street was in the place Oklahoma then. You know what I mean? That's where Black Wall Street was until the KKK and some white supremacists, decided to go put bomb there, and destroy the whole place. So if you're speaking of the African American experience in this country, you have to really go deep into history when you think about why is it that other minority groups are excelling, like the Chinese, like Italian Americans, why is it that those people excel, but African American did not really get to that point? Because you have to understand, People, they were slaves for 200 plus years, and when they started to really find themselves, you know, without land, without anything, when they start to build themselves up from their bootstraps, you know, when they start to self-realize, when they started to build communities, sustainable economic communities, what happened? They bombed these places, you know. At that time, you know, Black Wall Street, they literally had everything. They had their own banking system. They had their own like dentries. I mean, you're talking about any vibrant, functioning, you know, American, society. They had it going. But people saw that white supremacists saw that to be a threat because they wanted them to be where they wanted them. And any growth out of that population was viewed as a threat to the establishment, you know. So people need to read the history, you know, opposed to just sitting and just saying, oh, the people are lazy, the people don't want to work, you know.
Some of them are.
No, look, let me tell you.
We've been past that stage.
There are a lot of Liberians that not want to work even today.
Exactly. We've been at the Liberians too, right?
So I mean, like you can say the same thing. Every community, right? Every community, including white people, there are a lot of white people that don't want to work, you know. But to just cast an entire, you know, group of people to be lazy and stuff, and without knowing their history, without knowing the kind of struggle and denial of opportunity that people were subjected to, you know, it's like other people started ahead of you in a race, and you trying to catch up to them, and the moment you think you have done well to get to where they are, then you get put bombing in your own infrastructure, then you're going back again to start on square one. But yeah, Maurice, what's up, man? Welcome, bro.
Yeah, Turi, how you guys doing, man?
Hey. Yeah, but the thing about that is most of them too, they sometimes like you say, Liberians will behave just like these people. Sometimes they're jealous of each other, they don't want to help each other. But when someone's trying to, like, you know, like when there's something that has to do with a white man, they all act like they're united. But there's this whole thing about, you know, lately about some of them call it FBA, trying to separate themselves and the other people from the other people. These are some of the reason why. Some people think that, they hear the name Africa, they don't want to be something where, we're not from there, we're not this, we're not, you know, with those kind of mentality is very, very like you taking yourself to be something that you're not. You and these people are put in the same boat, and you think you're better than the other people. Like you know, like I don't know.
No, but I mean, it always been like that. Even that very Liberian talking about, there was certain group of, you know, like native Liberian that assimilated well with the Congo people, and they did not look at themselves as indigenous. They literally looked down other. You know what I'm saying? Look, every establishment. Got that, like in America, they have people like that. The more they assimilate with quote unquote the oppressor, they to look down on people that they all came from the same struggle. You know, they like even up to today's day, there are segment of Liberian population. They literally, if people don't tell them say these are native people, you will not know. You know what I'm saying? Like
but nobody is something today. Like all Liberians are the same.
No, but I'm just saying. So the same is applied to the African American here. That's how they call some of them what? House Negro. Back in the days, because they once they assimilated with the master will be nice to them. Blah 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 blah.
If you were light skinned,
they took themselves.
You work in the house.
You know, they took themselves differently from the rest. You know what I mean? Because
if you're dark skinned, you work in the field, in the cotton field.
Right. So all these things, even my brother, like our history, and that's why Liberia in America, we have such a
It's
what we
so
call
much. They can
historical
remind me so much about
you
like,
know,
that's what
even
we
if you go abroad right now, they see what we chill, they see what we do things. It's so freaking, I mean, it is, if it's not identical, I mean, it's almost the
no,
same.
they took it from here and took it back there. So,
Yeah.
Morris, what's going on? What's in your mind? Another day, another dollar.
Yeah, well, I would just pick it up, just pick it back on what Ray was actually talking about the blacks in America here. You know, I tell you what was a talking point, but not knew it was just what on his mind.
Freestyling. It's not so much to talk about today. We just freestyling.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. Yeah, I see. Look, the blacks suffer a lot in America here. You know, it was a time for the little that we have read. The blacks suffer a lot in America. It was a time where it was even a crime for black men to go in the store and buy certain book to read. He can be arrested for that. Yeah, you know, I mean, it's a record, and that is the reason why Marcus Garvey. If you follow Marcus Garvey, whole idea was to make all the blacks in America to understand that they are roots from Africa. He said that was his own fight. That was his own advocacy. Yeah, the Marcus Garvey said, look.
Yeah, someone said no.
Huh?
I told someone there today, they said no.
Yeah, for sure. He said, look, as long as the black skin, I don't care. As long as the black skin know that you're root from Africa.
Absolutely.
And his fight was for every blacks to understand they are root from Africa. If possible, they should go back and develop Africa. That was his own fight. You know, and when Martin Luther came and Malcolm X, they were also too fighting the same fight, but in different, separately. Martin Luther, on the other hand, was speaking more to the whites. Say, look, you are white, but you don't have any superiority over them. Right. You and the black, you all have equal right in America. Malcolm X, on the other hand, he said, I don't care for the white. I'm only speaking to the black. He was focused more on the black. He was telling the blacks to understand that right, because the only way you can fight for your right, you must first understand what those rights are. You cannot able to fight for your right if you don't know what the rights are. So if you realize Malcolm X, he was speaking more to blacks, having press conference, he was not speaking to white, speaking more to the, and they consider him more aggressive than how they call it, said Martin Luther, you know, and religion business came into too. He converted into religion and stuff like that. But these people fight was for the blacks to understand their right. They understand what their rights are and who are they, where they coming from. You know, so they all fight, but they try, but they could not, you know, successfully succeed in their fight, you know. But at the end of the day, there's still a huge division among the blacks. Some blacks feel that they are better than they were born here. They're more better than the blacks that came from somewhere else. You know, it's just the case, and that's something that you can't rule it out. It's in every ethnic society, in every society, even some tribe within the very tribe. Some people feel that they have more, you know, right to that tribe as compared to the other tribe. I'll give you one example. In Sudan, you know, Sudan, the Darfur region. The Darfur region, this is where the dark black skin Sudanese from. So the other Sudanese feel that they are more superior than the other Sudanese who got the dark skin. You know, even our own tribes, some people feel that they are more paler than the other people. Some people feel they are more Mandingo than the other. Some people feel that because the fuller, the bright, the move, it's just everywhere, you know. And the enemy on the other side, they fight for this, they try for the fight to stand, because that's the only way the division will remain within the, you know. So it's just everywhere. Even Liberia, the Congo, people feel they didn't care about their skin, but as far as they feel that they're more superior than other black, you know. So I mean, it's the old age problem, and that's the only way the division can continue, you know. So I mean, I just wanted to pick it back on what Toure was talking as a talking point for me.
Yeah, sure. So there's no there's fight on. Usually I seen it on TikTok, and I think Twitter or reposting it that people there. Sometimes you see some live shows according to say FBA, and I'm like, okay, so they not from Africa, they were here. They're trying to compare themselves with the Indians or all the Indians they were here before the Indians, something like that. I'm like, really? It must be
Yeah,
like, if you were here, they're not from Africa. Even if you were here, your ancestors they can walk up from Africa. If you're black, there's no way around there. They parakeets or walk up, they got mixed, they got lost.
Yeah.
And they end up on this saying you said, but there's no way you can go around that. But I don't know how that whole thing sparked, and it's a whole war like, oh, they think they want to beat us, they want to come to our country, our land. I'm like, we marching with you for you to get free, for you to get rights. What are you calling your land? Like, it's so funny, but sometimes you just like listen to the lives and just be passing, going like, Lord help us. Where we, but yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's the system. I had a conversation with a friend at my job recently, who just like having a conversation. He's coming African. I said, but you know that you are also called African American. You never been to Africa. Your father and mother never been to Africa, right? He said, no, I'm not African. I said, well, that's how you are called. You are called African American. And the question should be, why am I called African American? I've never been to Africa. My father have never been to Africa. Why am I called African American? I said, that's the question that you should answer. For me, I can be called African. I can be called African American, yet because I came from Africa, came to America. It's perfectly fine. But why should you be called African American? Where you were born here, you never been to Africa, you don't know nothing about Africa. Why are you called African American? He said, nobody called me out. I said, no, you are called African American. I said, Obama is called African American. I said, so that is the system. And even at that,
Obama is the real definition of African American.
Yeah. So I said, but you feel that I'm an African, but you are not an African. So well, that's up to you. You know.
Well, even black people in general, they all came from Africa.
Yeah.
Those that, even though his history have it like there are black people in America before Christopher Columbus, but that's just an argument for another day. But
that's what I said. The Hurricane walk up and they got stuck.
Right. The whole notion
black people from Africa.
The whole idea that like the FDA that you're talking about, I mean, it was the same situation we're talking about. They are just segment of the population that don't want to be identified to whatever their roots are, and that's because they have the perceived notion about whatever is being propagated in Western media that's not in any way center of something that have to do with civilization and anything like that, so they don't want to be associated with that. But again, it's just lack of education and lack of knowledge. Because if you really studied, Africa and all that stuff, obviously the birth of civilization came from Africa, right? We started, irrigation, even like constructing houses
Ethiopia and Egypt.
Right? So they I feel like it's just lack of education, just lack of knowledge, and constant, media brainwashing, all of that stuff can make people to hate themselves. And this is something Malcolm X was actually talking about. Who taught you to hate yourself? Who taught you to hate your nappy hair? Who taught you to hate your color? Who taught you to, you know what I mean? He literally went on a rant on that, right? So why are you hating yourself? Why are you hating yourself to a point where some people even go as far as bleaching themselves? You know what I mean? Like I just never understood that.
That's the whole thing right now.
But Ture, why they don't call the European? Why they don't say European Americans? Indian Americans.
You know why though?
There's the reason why they call African Americans. You know that, right?
But Morris, that is a very good question. Because if you look at the term African American was actually coined in the 80s, you know that? Do you know who brought about that? Was former presidential candidate Jesse Jackson. He brought about the coin African Americans they were not being referred to African Americans.
Black Americans.
They were blacks. You know what I'm saying?
So,
You know what I mean? And we don't even go around looking like talking about German American, except a white person tell you city from Germany, right? You will not know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Also, so they don't use the word, they don't call it European Americans, but they call us African Americans.
The whole notion that you have to come up with, like you don't have a Chinese American, Japanese American, you know.
And they're here, they're in America here, but they don't call them Chinese American.
It just didn't make sense
at all.
You know, but
again, they ain't call them Chinese American. But it's not, they will not just see you and just a Chinese American, it'd be like Asian dude, but when they know you're American and you're Chinese American.
Yeah, but it's like African American, like you literally hear politicians refer to them as, like you don't hear people talking about Chinese American, or they refer to them in general as Asian. You know what I mean? So, but African, they're where the exception to the rules kind of something, but it was not America that coined that name on them. It was coined by an African American himself, Jesse Jackson, who decided to coin that, and it became of a thing. And I think it really differentiated white African American are compared to black people. Like you and I walking the street, if we're not open our mouth to talk, but people to say, "Oh, I think that man sound different," they always consider us the same. You know what I mean? If I'm walking down the street, a white woman walking down the street with me, the women they see me coming, they start holding tight to their handbag and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it don't matter. Like that's just what it is. So we all get beat with the same stick. So it don't matter.
No, but today, before Jesse Jackson came up with that story, there was a name they used to. There was a way they used to describe us. They used to use the N-word. That's how they used to refer to us. You know that, right? So that was also derogatory to us, the blacks. How they used to refer to us in America here. You know that, right? And that was both. They have always been finding means to differentiate us, to let us know that when you got a black skin, you're from Africa. And the reason why they don't usually use the word European Americans, Indian Americans, Asian Americans, because they feel that Africa is underdeveloped. To remind you and myself that, look, regardless of what, you from a poor area, that's where you're from. You're from Africa, very underdeveloped place, that's where you're from. They will never remind you that you're from India, you're from Europe. They don't remind you. So it's always been the case, you know. Even our kids are born here. They never been to Africa, but they will call them black African American. Why should that be? Because they're trying to tell you that you're from somewhere where it's a privilege for you to be in this country. That's all about it. What, to Oregon?
Well, African American referring to your children, I think that's the right something, because they have a root in Africa and in America, so they're African Americans to citizenship. But if you talk about someone who have not, like when you talk about African American, I said Barack Obama is the definition of African American. His dad is Kenyan. His mom is from, whatever in America. So that is more of I'll call that our kids being African American, or if we're being called that would be more appropriate than someone who haven't been there. But I think they do that because their ancestors were birthed from there. So that's why they are referred to as that. Not so necessarily they be going there or being from there. No, their ancestors, that's their roots at the end of the day. But some people now, they don't want to be identified with that. Some of them, but some of them do. So sometimes when I come across the argument, I'll be like, well, did Africa say they were looking for citizens? They were trying to grab people and take them back. Like, well, what are we arguing about here? Like, don't worry about it. Stay right where you at and be called whatever you are. You don't have to worry about it.
And a lot of people didn't even know that there are Africans The blacks were in this country way before some European countries, way before some Europeans migrated into this country. Blacks were here years before some of the white European countries came into this country. Yep, blacks were here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So apart from that, what do we have going on in Liberia today? What's in our minds? I'm trying to share some DJ Blue. I know they're having agriculture break.
You know, I didn't. DJ Blue has something. I've not really been following too much of stuff on Liberia, man, because so much. Yeah, but if you should just ask me what's on my mind quickly, for me, yeah, as much as we will come, sometimes we will criticize when necessary, and we will comment when necessary. Look, but to compare this, as much as we may have our own differences with the current reality, the current the governing system of the current government, but to compare this government to a George Weah government, it just for me, it's just I don't get it, seriously. To make it look like things are so worse in the government than that of George Weah government. Sometimes when people making that argument, I don't even understand it, because are you really okay, or you just somebody who don't want to see good thing for your country? Or are you really okay to compare to say this government is worse than George Weah? As a result, George Weah is even better for a George Weah to come back.
Oh my gosh, who says that?
I mean, it's serious. People making an argument that the government is so things are falling down. No. If you think about the road, if you think about the electricity, if you think about people not complaining about pay, are you really forgot when Joe Weah took over in the first 1 year? You can't even get money in your bank. We used to send money for people. They would tell us, that money is sending until I will get all. This is how bad the country was the first 1 and 2 years under George Weah, and it continued until he left from power. As much as we may have a problem, we wanted it to be better than what it is. We are disappointed to some extent, but to make it look like a George Weah was better than this, no, man.
George Weah is the one that got it being the way it is in the first place.
I don't think those. I don't think people are making a comparison. You know, as to who's worse.
Yes, they are.
I think
they're doing it to it. Come on,
I don't think because anybody who makes
anybody
who makes that comparison, then obviously they are definitely living in oblivious. But look, I personally, this is where my disappointment comes in with this government. And I made this clear from the start. I totally believe the expectation, right, that kind of like anticipated that this government will come in, they will keep the ground moving from day one. Some of the expectations have not been met, right? And I'm not saying, the things are just automatic, like they press button and the light just come on. That's not how easy it is. It's much, much complex than that. But for me, I look at how people are going about it. I expected this government to be laser focused on key areas. I expected this government to be forthcoming. I expected this government to not buy into the whole social media sensationalized project and all that thing, right? Like every little thing the president, like even going to go dedicate or kickball fee, the president must show up. All of that nonsense is just ridiculous. And then with that whole traveling issue, right? How many times the president will travel? How many times the president will go? All of the dedication, all of that stuff that we saw in the previous administration, traveling all over the place like cold chicken, but nothing is actually following those traits, right? So these are stuff that people are looking at. These are stuff that I'm looking at. But in no way, shape, or form that I can sit there and say, oh, you cannot even make that comparison. I mean, in terms of reputation, in terms of professionalism, in terms of approach, in terms of just the whole image of the country, this government have done well in that. But it's just little areas in where you don't expect people of their caliber to be making mistakes in. You know what I mean? It's like, you know better. You should know this. Like, so when you do that, there where some of our criticism lie, right? It's not like, oh, we just saying, oh, because the president said they were having, no, that's not what we're looking at. Because there are a lot of human element to some of these development, all of this stuff, planning, all of that stuff. You know what I mean? But I'm just talking about the little things, right? Like responding to opposition, right? Allow the Minister of Presidential Affairs, the press secretary, the Minister of Information to deal with these things. But I don't want all of the ministers and minister heads, when something happens in opposition, everybody just as if to say you are under a government mandate, that when something happens, all of you should rush your social media and that stuff. Forget about that, bro. Focus on your job. Focus on your job.
Thank you, Jerry. See, this is where I differ with you a little bit, right? It's impossible for anyone in this day and age working in the government to just stay away from social media. When your reputation is being tarnished out here, especially if you're not doing anything because of politics, the worst, and like we said, our people are gullible. What they hear every day, especially on big platforms that they listen to, you cannot in any way, shape, or form say everybody should just sit down and be mute or say, they're not talking, they're supposed to say, they didn't say nothing. Not true. No, you have to respond. It shouldn't be like your every day, but at certain things they say, not everything you respond to, but that's very grave. You have to respond to it. You have to have people to respond to it. This is we in a social media and media war. That's what it's like. That's what it's like. It's not like before. It's a different era now. That's why everybody run on social media. When the senator ready to run, they go do this this one ready. Which Senator Dillon started like everybody want to run that and be the champion and everything. You cannot say that. Oh, they should sit there and not say anything. No, it's not gonna. It's gonna make it seem like, oh, whatever they're saying, if it's not true, people will believe it, because that's the kind of world we live in. That's the kind of society we have. And then talking about the traveling, yeah, you can criticize things that you can say, oh, certain thing the president doing or something, but just because somebody said the president took a large delegate, somebody used to take the 50, 49, somebody take 23, then he says the same thing. No, it's not.
It still don't matter. It still don't get it.
It does matter, because we just went through this like a couple of days ago. Those strengths matter. That's why you want to see Liberia is not standing on her own yet. Not yet. We all want that. We all do want that. But is that happening now? No. We're still begging. We're still asking for help. We're still doing all of that stuff. And where this government took over from, this government, the president has to do everything. And you're not saying he coming with a grip full of money or whatever. Those things come in down the line. There are a lot of things we talk about here that go in the country, 100 million a school project. We talk about healthcare, something, all the one. How do you think those came about? By he's just sitting in his living room? No, it's not going to happen. You gotta, in some form of lobbying, you gotta go out there and do it. What happened? We just read all the things that something for the Japan trip. We talk about it here. Everything that's in the pipeline with that. You have to go to talk about these things. You can't just sit there living and you expect people to take you seriously and you call, or can you, I need people from your side to come and train my people. And so, no, it's not gonna work. Regardless of the propaganda side of it, if you know, like I said, just do what is right. And because right now, Joseph Yuma Boyka paved the street will go. Somebody will have something to twist on it and say, I'm not gonna fit into that because everybody's twisting into it and so they want to make it look like, oh, you're a hypocrite. Yes and no. I will tell you why I criticize the other guy and why I don't criticize this other thing. If it's the same to me, I'll tell you, say yes, it is the same, it's wrong. So I'm not gonna say here and say, oh, the person not supposed to try, he just want to be in, so he's sitting in the office in Morel, that what is he getting from it? If he's not going out to lobby for these things, if he's not going out to ask for them, as we're still begging, until we can stand on our feet, until we can take that boost down, until we can do all of that, we're still begging. We're still asking for these things. We're still asking countries to come and help us. There's no way he can do it by sitting in the office and just staying right there, staying put. No.
Well, Amy, you're absolutely right what you're saying. But my thing is, when you come in, like the way the president articulated his approach from day one, the president simplified everything during campaign. Time that Liberian is very easy to govern, just do the right thing, use the resources wisely, and all that stuff. There are a lot of waste in government. Even during Madam 2017 campaign, he said what? We squander a lot of opportunities. All of these things, like, it resonates with people, right? When people start to, and the president is right, that we have limited resources, and those resources should be used wisely. Those resources should be put to use efficiently, right? We are not here to criticize the government because we just want to criticize the government, or maybe that's the thing to do, stuff like that. That's not what it is. When we say something, what you are saying should absolutely, sort of like, it should be compatible with your actions. All right, it should be compatible with your actions. When you talk about wasting government, then obviously you should start to walk that. All right. How do you mitigate waste? How do you decrease waste in government? You need to start doing things differently. Okay.
Like what?
Like not carrying 23 people you on a trip. All right. Like not carrying Sekou Dukle with you on a trip where the man will be going out of hospital. While managing director out of Freeport have to do a hospital visit in Japan. You know what I'm saying? Like these are stuff we're talking about. All right. We need to, like, whatever he went for.
So you think Joseph Yuma Boyka, in your own conscious mind, that he just told Sekou to go flush with him, to just go hang out with him?
Well, in my conscious
you have
mind,
anything to do that, he just took him.
In my conscious mind, I look at a president who feel very, very comfortable right now. I'm seeing the president very comfortable.
I just asked you a question. What does that mean? So he comfortable to go hang out with Sekou Dukle? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, like Sekou Dukle should be busy working. He should be working in Liberia.
He's not working.
Okay,
go ahead.
And besides, you guys making it seem like with the expos that are going on in Japan, it had to do with every fabric or every sector in government. That's not what it is.
The sector that it had to do with the people it took. It was a conference, Toure.
Well, it was a conference.
One meeting, it was a conference, and the people it had to do with, those are the people that they took.
That is not true. I don't believe that. They did not take
the whole government.
I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that for a second.
They're telling you, and you don't believe it. What else you wanted to do?
You telling me, okay, the conference requires that all government heads, all bureau heads,
not all of them.
Should be no, but that's exactly how it seems like, because you have someone from agriculture, you have someone from the health ministry, you have someone from the Freeport, right? You have someone from the Senate. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have all these people with you, right? And their deputies on that. Come on, man. We need to start doing things differently. We need to start doing things differently. And it is actually shoulder upon us in media, in a space, to really start talking it like the way it should be. And that's what I'm going to do.
Before you talk about doing things differently, you need to read on and know how these things work. Engaging these people in that kind of conference.
Now we're talking about how things work.
Oh, yeah, you have to. You can just talk about saying, oh, do things differently. So okay. So to run the country, the president told the lobby, the president told the city, then he said, oh, because the other one was doing it useless there. So that once you just come and sit in the office, and everything will just work out bread and butter. Because you think that because you are criticizing somebody, they were doing it, or because they were overusing it. So that once you not use it at all, even though it's needed. That's what you mean, doing things differently.
Oh, exactly. It's like,
what do you mean by that? I do not believe that Joseph Human Worker would take people that were not supposed to be on that trip to go hang out with him and flush with. They don't do it in Liberia like yet. That in Japan he will go take it for them to go kick it. How many times you saw him kicking it with anybody in Japan on a free something?
No,
I'm saying you shouldn't criticize, but where it needs to be, some places are just not just. It doesn't just need it.
So you just tell me my criticism is misdirected. Is that what you're saying?
With this one, yes.
No, absolutely not. That's
Morris. I mean,
that's how you think.
Yeah, you know, I would agree with you on the social media issue. Look, you can respond. We're all human beings. The government, the people that are in government are human beings. I'm not going to say because you're government official, when somebody says something about you, you might not respond just because you're government official. No, I don't even buy into that. When somebody can go sit down on their platform or sit down on one radio station and say the word and say unfounded thing about one government official or the government, they say nobody will respond because the government official. I don't buy into that. That's what is social media for. And if you underestimate the power of social media, then you need to check. Mm-hmm. You can't underestimate the power of the social media. You know, people got the right to respond. As much as you get your right to say something, somebody else got their right to respond. You can't say because the president or government official. And I see a lot of people saying the information minister are not supposed to respond to everything. The information ministry has the right to respond to what they think is necessary for them to respond to, and they can decide what that is. So for me, I don't buy into that. You know, but if on the point of the trip, somebody's trip, I think I still stand by my statement. Somebody's trip, based on the reason they give, I don't think they should carry this amount of people.
Especially, let me see if I still have this stuff. We came up here and Tony, everything that they got from that trip.
Yeah, say for instance, right? The Senate, they DeLong. Why DeLong on the trip? The chairman on, I know, foreign service. I don't know, something from the Senate and the lower house. They said they went there, and I listened to the reason they don't get. They don't say the reason why they went there because in Japan, he's trying to give some. Yeah, in Japan, is a parliamentary form of government. So yeah, for everything the government do, the house has to approve it. So they went there.
That's
so
true. I don't know why you wanted to fit your narrative then. Yes, it is true.
I come in.
Nothing.
Yeah, to let me. I come in. So DeLong was giving his reason. He said the reason why they went there from the legislative angle because in Japan, everything the government want to do, the house in Japan has to approve it. Mm-hmm. So I was listening to the guys. So what does that mean? I mean, so are you saying that when they bring it to if the legislature has to approve, they will just approve it because in Japan, so he was giving, I was just sitting, listening to the guy. It doesn't make sense. DeLong, you don't have to be there. If that's the reason why you went there, to go assure the house that, look, you're just passing, when you come to us, we just pass it. It doesn't work like that. Because when you come to the house, the legislature is a political ground. They have to debate on it, they argue on it before it passes. So I look at the brother, I said, but look at the reason you yourself giving. So this is our argument. I don't have problem about the amount of people that goes there. The reason you give will make my argument to say, look, it was right or it was not right. So on this issue, it wasn't right for them to take 23 persons based on the reasons they gave. It was not right. DeLong has no reason to go to that place.
What I'm hearing is you guys telling the House and the Senate how their job is supposed to be done. But then you're the same people that come by and say they're not doing their job.
So what is that? So what is the job there?
You said this is what needs to be done. Then you said it doesn't make any sense.
No, but mind you, it's not a Senate. It's not a Senate. No, mind you.
When something happening, when you make the president signing or doing it over like having like agreement.
Mind you, it is not. It is not the Senate that sent DeLong. You know that, right? the Senate did not send Dillon to go represent them. Do you know that?
The Senate, Dillon is the chair of foreign affairs or something in the Senate.
The Senate did not. The Senate has a Senate.
Necessary. The Senate don't have to say we're sending you. That's his position to oversee that area. And in the House, the same thing too. It's the same way you have Minister of Defense or chair on Minister or something. You think when it's time to do that job, the Senate will say, "Oh, yeah, we authorize you to go." That's not how it works. You need to stop like y'all know the poor function. Then when it come, you're telling us they're not doing that.
We talking about waste. We're talking about getting rid
that
of
is not a waste. They're
government.
telling you why, but you putting it in your head that it's a waste. No, it's not a waste.
It is a waste.
That's
because
what you
Maurice
think.
just
That's
told
doing that job.
You can go and listen to how do you call this guy? Jeremy McPeer. His reasoning as to which the number of delegates that went on that trip, the reason he gave to kind of draw any kind of rational
what was the reason he gave?
Right? Was not sufficient enough. We're not going to tell you that. You can go on the ministry. You can go on the
no, you go. No, I don't want to go there. I heard it.
And listen to it.
I get to the reason Dillon gave. Are you okay with that reason?
You are saying something I didn't understand. You said Dillon said that. You said it didn't make sense. You didn't.
Are you okay with the reason that Dillon gave? Are you okay with that reason?
Reason you just said Dillon was saying something that doesn't make sense.
I said Dillon gave a reason why he went, why they went there. I give you the reason that Dillon gave, the reason why they were there from the legislative angle. I just give you the reason. Are you okay with that reason that Dillon gave?
I've been wasting government. That's something.
I am not a senator.
Huh?
What are you talking about? I am not a senator. I'm not a chair. I've never been a chair on foreign affairs in the Senate. Why would I tell Dillon say, "Oh, your job is useless"? No, I would not do that.
There's so much money to get benches and.
If we talking about how much people get paid here, I am on board with that. But to say that you're performing a function, he said, "Oh no,
Amy,
because you feel like
we don't need Dillon no trade."
Amy, you're getting the whole thing. You're getting the whole thing wrong. Bro. I'm not sure you really understand this argument. We are not saying that it was wrong for people.
Argument. You said the people talk 23 people. They're not supposed to take 20. They're supposed to talk 2 person. That's what you said.
I can tell you right now, some of those guys
I'm telling you,
for just to enjoy that foreign trip.
What?
They do absolutely nothing. Nothing.
What happened?
Nothing. And I'm telling you right now, you're gonna see them coming at the United Nations General Assembly in September, right? You're gonna see them, and when they come, they will be all over the states. They will be all over the states. Some of them are not even making it in a General Assembly hall, right? They will be on Woodland. They will be in Minnesota, places like that.
That's what you used to
save
see.
some of that money. Save some of that money.
Let me tell you something, right?
No, it didn't even happen doing weird time. Even Madam Salif time.
Let me tell you something.
We have a scarce. No, let me learn this, Amy. We have a government that have scarce resources. Historically, that have scarce resources, but we are a country that we don't prioritize what need to be prioritized. We enjoy opulence. We enjoy taking luxury trips, right? That brings absolutely nothing. Nothing. If you're going to go beg for resources, you think it will occur to you that maybe you're cutting down all your trip expenses when you're going to go beg will make sense, right? But no, not in our case. We beg for everything that comes in our country as a development, right? And we spend everything on salary and stupid trip that are not bringing nothing in return.
So do you know how much the trip
So
costs?
Amy, let me ask you this
You know
question.
how much the trip costs?
I don't need to know how much the trip costs, but I know
Amy, let me
about something
you don't need to know. Is that fair? Is that a fair argument?
No, it costs much. It don't matter whether it costs $5,000.
Yes, it does matter, because they are doing their job.
Amy, let me ask you.
They're going for. If you tell me, say it's not for them to say, oh, they're going for agriculture break, and nobody going on farm, they traveling all around. I got problem with that too. But you
let me ask
you. Where to go for a conference or government, somebody's supposed to go there. You telling me, say, oh, they are not supposed to go there. You think when you stand in the office, like, well, bring the thing in that you want them to do?
Amy, let me ask you. Do you have any?
Finish that before you beat each other.
I just want to ask the question again. I'm not saying. I just want to ask the question again. Add it to Why
Okay,
you? I
ask
give.
you.
I'm sitting there listening to you guys talking. I just want to ask you a question. And you can ask me the same question if you want to. Do you have any disappointment in this government, especially from the executive angle? Do you have any area of disappointment?
Any area of discipline? Yeah, I do.
And where are those areas?
I got where the president tell people to declare assets, and he they I don't know, I'm gonna say being disrespectful to him, or they were disrespectful to him. And I know you cannot fire the whole government. You cannot fire the whole, because it's gonna be from square one again, hiring everybody. Okay, so but I think that something should have been what, even though he suspended they suspended them for like a month or so. He said if you didn't declare your asset, but still I had a disappointment in there. And I have a disappointment in something else too. I had a disappointment in something. When it comes to mine, I will tell you. But yes, I do have disappointment. There are some area they make a boo boo. It's not everywhere, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna agree with everything everybody's saying, because they're trying to be what.
So you can only remember one disappointment. The rest you can't remember.
You have to something.
So you can't remember the rest of the other disappointment. You only one disappointment you can remember. The asset declaration.
So what's so funny about that?
Man, I'm sorry, man. We're laughing, man. This is a show.
Everything that's supposed to
my laughter is not. Yeah.
What's so funny about that?
Amy, my laughter does not.
Or something. You myself don't have to be disappointed on the same thing. What are you disappointed with? See me, I'm being real in something. First of all, y'all want this government to come in and be like God to be making manna fall from heaven. But y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea in where. When they keep telling y'all the loophole, how damaged you can make campaign promises. But do you know what you're about to meet when you take over? Until you take over, you can promise somebody, oh, when I go to America, I will do this. All of y'all, they didn't do it. When y'all came to America, they just send anybody the speech jet then that you were promising them.
Well, I didn't promise anybody when I come to America.
When y'all keep your man, you know what I'm talking about, a lot of them. When y'all keep your know what y'all made, so y'all couldn't do it. That's exactly what's going on. You can't go because you say, oh, you something. You got to fix every damages that you made there before you even start doing something. And if you had limited resources, where y'all expect it to come from? And you're saying you're talking because somebody want to be arguing about something that everybody want to jump. No, I'm not like that.
No, I'm not like that.
I will tell you why I'm not disappointed, and I will stand by it. If I am disappointed about something, but what they are doing, taking those trips, there is no way anybody can tell me Joseph Boga will put somebody behind and say, let go kick it. When you still go on that trip, what you can go see him kicking that in nightclub or whatever, or driving all over the place, apart from where he went at. Before you would think that he would put somebody behind him to go do that.
It's not a nightclub.
Look at the kind of person we're talking about before we even say those things. Well, if it wasn't necessary, they would not carry. He will not carry those people.
Well, people change. I mean, people change, and people might tell you something today and do something.
What do you mean people change? Look at
people
it.
Change. Let me tell you, people change. Let me tell you. You see, that's the thing. You don't really want people to really point the government with their flaws. It's like you get so emotional when somebody say their government is wrong.
About?
When we talk about asset declaration, the government came with a so intent of campaign promise that they made to the Liberian people, right? That people declare their assets. The government have failed miserably.
Okay, so what I say to that?
We didn't even talk
about
anything about
asset
declaration.
You go and say that like I didn't say anything about.
We're not talking about anything about asset declaration. It's not even a thing that. It's not even a conversation that has been had. Then we talk about we talk about some of the prevailing circumstances, right? Let's talk about the drugs issue, right? The drugs issue, something this government promised the Liberian people that is going to be key on the agenda. Okay, in less than not even 2 years into the JMB administration, we're seeing 2 firing.
So what does that mean to you?
So it shows number one, it shows lack of procedural steps in actually appointing somebody at that position when you're actually firing 2 years in less than 2 years. That is a fault on this government, And that's something that we need to discuss. Okay? You can't come in and bring somebody in because from day one, for 6 years, President George Manneh, we are in power for. These things were going on. They saw all of these things and they said they would fix it. We expect you from day one, from that January when
don't fire anybody
when GMB, well, that is a different conversation. And that's
right there to the 6 year in it.
Well,
so
that is a different conversation. That is a different conversation. And that's why people put all of their eggs in one basket, in GMB basket, that he's the most experienced, 40 plus years in government, 40 plus years in government, 12 years as a vice president. He have seen it all, he have touched it all. And people felt that he's the one that will get the job done. Okay? And for all of those 40 plus years of experiences, all of those, 12 years being a vice president, I'm sorry. We have not been able to, we have not seen that at least for this two years that the president, close to 2 years.
You have not seen that?
Right? And I think that's fair to say. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so first of all, Toure, let me tell you something like what I told you when you and myself were having a conversation. Where I will hold Joseph Yomo Boakai responsible, and listen to me, Morris, and you can tell me also if you timber with Toure again on this one. If a person, right?
Toure, say Fatima, you
go for an interview, right? We all make our resume look pretty and attractive for an interview.
That's right.
You go there, you learn all this nice little answer to an interview question. They give you that job. That person don't know in your heart. That person don't know in your blood. That person, that hiring manager, don't know anything. What that person saw on that resume and what you told them is what they hire you on. When you get on that job, it's left for you to perform. Now, if you're not performing and that hiring manager keep you on that job, then that's the problem of the hiring manager. But firing you because you're not performing, because you're not behaving professionally, and that's a problem on the hiring manager, then why would your disturbing judge have to fire or corrupt people?
2 times.
So many people.
2 times.
It doesn't matter. If you hire, he should keep firing till he get the right person. There's nothing wrong with that.
Then which means not doing due diligence.
There's nothing wrong with that.
When hiring the president.
If he never hired no serious something to wear, he would not be firing. He would just keep them there and say, oh, you have to fight that to 6 years finish. But he's taking them from there to find somebody else and put them there. And if that person don't perform, he remove it too. So what's wrong with that? Why is that a problem?
Amy, you're not gonna flip Buster the question here. Let me
I'm asking you, what is wrong with somebody manager taking a incompetent person from on a job that they are not performing? What is wrong with that? How is that the person?
It shows lack
then
of
why were you bothering George Weah that he was not firing Osama Tuwe, he was not firing Miguel, you were not firing the other person? They were talking about corruption. They were not doing that. Why were you bothering him? If you just want leaving the person at the job, make you look good, make you look like you're fighting it, then why was you bothering George Weah?
And that's because we did not hold George Weah at the level of professional attributes that we have with Joseph Yomo Boakai.
Experience doesn't mean you're a mind reader.
Oh, it does. It does a lot.
No, it doesn't mean you're a mind reader. It doesn't mean you're a color. It doesn't mean you're psychic.
No, it shows that you've been around for a long time.
It doesn't mean you're mind reader.
You've been in a professional environment. No, Amy, wait now. Let me let my own now. It shows that you've been in a professional setting for a very long time. George Weah came from a territory that had absolutely nothing to do with politics. Okay, so that right there, it does. It means something. If you take somebody from a total different profession and put them in a profession like politics, it means a lot.
Is that what George Weah said when you were running campaign? I'm from different place.
Nobody will sit here.
Or he said he knew what to do.
All of us can have our criticism of President George Manneh Weah, but no way anybody will actually try to put President George Manneh Weah when it comes to leadership, when it comes to policy, when it comes to understanding the in and outside of politics and government to that of GMB. Okay, GMB is vastly experienced. GMB is vastly experienced. JMB have seen it, JMB have touched it, JMB have lived it. Okay, so you cannot in any way.
And that's why he's doing it
and
differently.
JMB vice president for 12 years. 12 years experience in leadership. That is massive. Okay, so JMB came in with a hands-on experience in government. Okay, Amy. So at the end of the day, when you are hiring managing director, you hire the first person. In less than a year, you fire that person. Then you hire somebody. In less than a year, you fire that person. You, as a hiring manager, you have a problem. You have a problem. That is a problem that you have.
That's not true.
Oh yes, yes.
That's not true. If you are not firing the person while they're staying there messing up, then you have a problem.
I work in management.
That doesn't mean you're second.
Let me tell you, I work in management. If I hire somebody for the same position 2 times in a span of a year, it's not on the person I'm hiring. I'm the problem, because you know why? I have not done due diligence in terms of quality, in terms of experience, in terms of integrity, in terms of
how do you know these things,
on the person I'm hiring. Huh?
What do you know these things from? How do you know them?
Oh, because you know what? If
on the person resume, right?
Winner,
if I interview, right?
Winner.
No, I'm asking a question.
But let me answer a question now.
Let me finish.
Let me answer your question.
Leave yourself. I'm the host. I got to interact with him. Don't tell me what.
But let me answer your question.
Yeah,
you ask me how do I know these things, right? If somebody sends in their resume, right? I read on a resume. Right there, I know exactly anybody can over-exaggerate on their resume. All right? We all do. We all put a thing or two on there to make it juicy. But that's not here nor there. Your resume is just a piece of paper. It does not tell the whole story. If you sit across that person from an interview, that interaction, you will gain more from that interaction than what is on that resume. Okay?
Exactly.
Okay, we're not. But this is where I'm coming from. Okay? I will know the person from having that conversation with that person face to face, which of course I've done multiple times. And I will know exactly the quality in you.
That's not true.
Now reference to what's on your
what you would get.
You know, let me. I don't know if I can get.
Tell me, what we all go practice to go to an interview, we practice interview question, and what will come and how to answer that question. People do that all the time. You're not no psychic to it. Stop that. Go ahead, Morris. Welcome, Josh.
Where sack doctors are the most dumb people you can find in the world, because they can just come up with anything.
You know the person by just
yeah, they can just come up with anything. But the thing here is for me, I think I already disappointed Joe. Yeah, I'm not disappointed. I only frustrated the way he damaged my country. But to say I was disappointed, we are everything we are there. I was not disappointed because I did not say no bad for we are. I did not say any bad for we are at all. So I was not disappointed. I expected everything. It's just that he make it.
You want him to do it?
I come in now. It's just that he make it worse. That's all. But every responsible person, they're like he going after a woman. When you go after a woman, the thing that the woman was suffering from more. If the woman was not getting attention, you're trying to get that woman attention. That's what every responsible person will do. Madam Salif, when Madam Salif left power, Madam Salif said 2 things. He said he failed in the fight against corruption and reconciliation. When the George Weah came, he make it worse. The era where Madam Salif said he failed, he make it worse. So this government, President Bouaka, the bar that we set for President Bouaka is so high. So we don't expect a whole lot of excuse from President Bouaka.
We don't.
And at the same way, we'll beat on Dillon, and we'll continue to beat on him because the bar we set for for Dillon is different from the bar that we set for other people, right? This government came. You know how the country was looking before you could take power. 100 million drugs came in the country, and you came before you even could take power. You say, you know what? Drug is a cancer enemy, national enemy, this and that. And you came. You appointed people to the drugs era. For whatever reason, they start fighting money. I said you suspended for 6 months. It took it took 6 months for me. That was the old.
Ask your question. You keep talking.
You say what?
That was it.
What is that?
It was his problem that those 2 people were behaving unprofessionally.
No, it was his problem for you to leave the area without a proper leadership for 6 months. That was the poor leadership. That was the poor leadership.
They were acting.
Milton Tiaji and former Joe Morgan. Oh my God. Milton Tiaji and former so they fought. They fought each other. What Taylor separated there? Joe Morgan will still remain there. That's what leadership do. You don't, I mean, as a leader, you're not there to please people. What the reason you're suspending all the people and keep the play for 6 months? 6 months. For me, that was a poor leadership from
Waka.
Waka.
You on that one there, Morris. I thought he supposed to take one person and leave one person there too.
Exactly. So the bar we set for President Waka is so high. We don't expect a lot of mistakes. No, we don't. It's too high. Some of these things, the president. Look, when you're president, I don't like Trump, but when Trump became president of the country, everybody was on their toes. Everybody on their toes. That's the kind of president. That's how I want a president to be, especially when you took over a country that was damaged completely. No, you can't be that cool.
The thing is, you're talking about. I expect you to have expectation on somebody, but for you to set a bar that even if it's beyond their control, they're fighting it to something, and you don't see it that there's a problem because you had a bar set, so they're supposed to turn in miracle. That's what I'm not understanding. You just said where he met the country, and he never left the country. He never met the country like after his boss. That was gonna be a good. That by the time Liberia is thriving, but the country came. George, we are talking and talking back like we just started from Joseph. We are talking like we just came back from war. Everything is damaged.
That's why it should be proactive.
Because we set a hot bar for you, so we supposed to be performing miracles. Yeah, come on now.
Yes.
Come on in, George. George can get a different flavor. How you doing? You're mute.
You're muted, George. Unmute yourself, man.
Go ahead.
Yes, she muted me. Yeah. So look, the thing is that it's simple. I mean, if you maybe studying nursing and you want to take the board test and you fail twice, you think that the board test got a problem or that you get a problem?
It depends, the administrator. It depends.
No, that you get a problem.
I'm not telling you. What does that have to do with the situation?
I'm coming. I just ask a rhetorical question so that you can respond to it and I can move forward.
But it depends.
Yeah, you're not studying well. Yeah.
Okay, that means you are not studying well. Something is wrong. That's the same thing when you have an emergency in the country and you have to fire 2 groups of people from there. That means the first time you made a mistake, we forgave you. Yet anybody must have lied to him or something must have happened. So the second time, it took 6 months to think about the decision. 6 months. And then you still come and bring the wrong people. And then you say, we should say now a clap for him and say, he's not a mind reader. He's not reading people's minds so he can bring other people again. It's okay. That's mediocrity. We cannot do it. We cannot accept it. The same person.
I don't expect you to. Trust me, I didn't expect nothing for you to say anything different from that.
I'm making
George making sense. George, why are you making sense?
My man, let me just tell you on. Why you call it making sense? Let me just tell you on, my man.
No, you can say whatever you want to say. Let me finish. That's the thing. If you want us to sit down and say, okay, yeah, he's trying, then of course it's up to you. But as a country, even in my own capacity as a manager, if I gotta go to an interview and then I accept how they call it, one of my engineers to come into work, and that person is not a good fit, it tells bad on my judgment as the manager. It does not tell well on my judgment.
So how do you know the person is not a good fit? How can you tell? You got a resume. You had an interview with a person. They answer all your questions that you wanted, the way you wanted it. The resume says what is it, and the person went there. They blown up. How is that your fault?
Good, Amy. Good. And you know, Amy, that's why we ask the question. I like it because as experience as we have, got to bring the experience to the Liberian people so they can. Let me tell you, when you go for an interview, they're not just your resume. They're not just even the people that they reference that they can call. It's your attitude, your interaction with the people, the question they ask you.
Well, that's what I said.
The way you respond. Listen, the way you respond. Guess what? You will have it 99.9% of the time. You will not get it right, but you will get it 75% right. That is the attitude of the person. the way the person answer the question, the manner in which, because everybody not answer the question the same way. The way the person answer the question, you will know that the person actually is a fit for the culture in your workplace that you expect of them or not. So those are the things
That's
that
what
you
I'm
look
saying,
for.
George.
Now not just answering, because anybody can go and read book and try and answer all the questions. But the attitude of that person is that what you can look at.
George,
This person is a fit.
people,
Yes.
me right here. Every interview I go to, I practice to go to that interview. Nobody can tell no attitude from me if you haven't worked with me to know me. Whatever question you send in, I practice interview questions and stuff. We are to right here know. Some people can enhance that resume. Some people can make it look good. You go for an interview. All the question you ask, all the right question. You answering it. You doing it. There's nowhere. The only way that person, you giving the person the vibe that yes, you answer every question rightly. This is what you did. This is the job you something you've been there. You've done that before. There is no way you can know that person argument. That person is something to go on that job to see whether they will rather perform. No manager is a psychic or is a what do you call it thing? Miracle worker to know whether no the person will not be fit. No, it depends on if that person is taking for that interview and they're giving you different insights. That's a different thing.
Amy, let me come here again. You see, that's why we that have the experience, you guys should be given the opportunity to speak on this matter.
We have
right?
experience.
Here's the thing. I went on an interview recently with a guy, right? And this guy, he got I don't know 2 masters, right? And I asked him a simple question: what is your achievement? What has been your achievement where you worked? Everything he said in that statement, all the statement he made was I. You know what I thought? I said this guy is full of himself. Everything should be him that accomplished it. If I bring him here, he will not give the glory to everybody else that do that. He will say he is doing it. Guess what happened? If I hire him now, I will destroy the culture because every time he will go here and say, "Oh, I finished with that one. Oh, I did this one. Oh, I did that one." We did this.
What?
Collectively, we contributed. We did this. We did that. Yes.
He can give me an example.
No, but the premise. No, but the premise.
The premise. He's selling himself. He's not selling the past over there. Why would he say we?
The premise of your question was.
When you ask him about teamwork, that's when he's supposed to something that. But
exactly. The premise of your question was not even directed.
No,
the premise of your question was false.
You're not doing
you don't know the question that I asked. You didn't know the question that I asked.
I mean, you said he asked me what has me accused me.
Listen to the question. You making fuss with me. I asked you the question because I know what I want from my question.
I'm kind of surprised that interviews ought to be selling yourself. But go ahead.
No, but guess me. As a team. That was the question. Because this guy, he's looking for a team leader position, right? So for me, if I want somebody like the LDA, the reason why the LDA did not function, everybody was it was not collective as a team. It was not a teamwork there. Everybody wanted to accomplish something by themselves. They want to go to the president and say, "Oh, I did this, I did that." No, or teamwork is the most important work. The team. There is no I in team, and with that, you can accomplish anything as a team. So for me, if you are interviewing people, they're not just the resume, they're not just what they tell you, they're not just what even the other people that they're going to tell you, because I can give my man out of question to of course my man, they will call you and ask you so and so thing. Ain't getting me about me. You can say all the nonsense things about me, right? But the thing is that when you go to the interview, that feeling, that conversation you have with the person, how the person want to move that area forward. What are the new ideas they are bringing to the board? All those things that's where you can get a feel. So if you change twice, you got a problem.
No,
but George,
that is not true.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm saying. What you get from the person, what's on that resume? The question you asking, what the person giving you? If that person giving you the opposite question, and there's none of you can sit down here to tell me say when. And President Boga doesn't even do that. So, what about the Senate that does the real interview? What, the Senate to have a problem, or just JB who got a 2 year old?
Amy, that's a political place. Nobody can find order for that.
Amy, you recommended that president.
Right? Because if President Boga did something wrong, that's what the Senate is there for, right? Because you're saying that these people misbehaving at President Boga's fault. So then what about the Senate?
Amy,
before you go for an interview, there are so many stages you can pass through, right? The first thing you will send your application, there is an algorithm that can pick up keyword for in your resume. That the first thing, if you pick up your CV, the people that even in the HR pool will not see your CV. That system got to pick out your CV and say, oh, the person here, they match the criteria you're looking for. That's the time they can take your CV now and go and look at it. That's the first thing. Then when you finish again, that means that the CV now brought you in for the interview. The next thing is your personality.
Yeah.
How you do things, how you respond to questions, how fit you will be for the job. Because every job place has a culture. If you cannot fit that culture, they will not bring you in. You can be the most intelligent person in the whole world. They will not bring that. What you see? How they call inside the guy who are with Ellen, the John Molo. That's why John Molo is having it hard to enter the system there because there's a culture there, and the people that want him to accept that culture. But the Baga knows all the people that they are corrupt. When you bring that man there, he will spoil everything. The government will be unstable because he will expose everybody. So they will not want him in. You see, that's the problem. So you cannot accept a culture. So
yeah, that's a different situation though from what we're talking about. Yeah,
that's how it works. So,
but can I come in a second?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll end when you finish.
Are you not finished yet?
So basically, what
let me just conclude. Let me just conclude. Then you.
Yeah.
The thing is that if you say drug is a public enemy number one, or it's a pandemic, right?
Epidemic.
The first thing you have to do, epidemic or whatever. The first thing you have to do is that you have to put money towards it. We're looking at budget. If in the executive mansion, they put making more money than anybody down there. Guess what? They say nobody will make 150, right? But going the DA, most of them below 150. Let me tell you, drugs. If somebody can bring drugs into the country that worth $100 million, you see how much they get before they buy that drugs? They get more than 100 million. So guess what now? If you are making 150, somebody call you and say, my man, I'll give you 10,000. Just hold them a bag and cross our immigration place. That person will be screaming and they won't beat people when they crossing that place with that bag in their hand. So the thing is that money motivates people. Money motivates people. So the first thing you gotta do, you gotta make sure those people that are fighting that particular drug, they are taken care of correctly so that they know that they are doing it for the country and they're doing it and they are getting paid to do it. But you know, so you're making nothing. Sometimes when more inside for you to get the money, say hi.
George,
that's the thing. Burger is doing nothing for the country.
George, I expect that for you to say that.
All right.
Let me tell you something. If a person have an integrity, no amount of money you need to buy somebody with. If a person is going in a position, you're working over there. They told you how much you would make. Listen, they told you how much you would make. Let me talk now. You finish.
Yeah, but George, you got to count into now.
Everybody got a price. Everybody got a price. Don't say that.
Yes, I was saying.
No,
don't do that.
Everyone got a price.
Just mute now. If you have an integrity, it doesn't matter. Here, you think that they can pull in 100 million and something in here? No. But they got corrupt cops in here. They got bad officers. They got bad something. They got everywhere. If your integrity is not in place, if you don't have integrity, it doesn't matter how much money they pay you. You will still see if that man say I will give you $40,000. It doesn't matter what they pay that man $500. If he doesn't have no integrity, you will still take that $40,000 and do the wrong thing. So if you go in somewhere, if they tell you that this is your salary, if you know you agree with it, don't do it. Don't do it. And when Gafana was giving that figure about, nobody will make this, they had an AID, USA AID, all those things included in that plan. That's where he was making his some of the decision from. Before they cut down something, that's where they're struggling now. So don't come and make it look like the new and now, and when he make that's something. No. Go ahead, Morris.
So look, at the end of the day, Amy, you just said that I'm not no psychic. Look, at the end of the day, that's not what you look at, right? When someone is sitting across from you in an interview, right? For me personally, the way I do my interview, matter of fact, I just brush through the resume and that's it. I deal with you face to face because I already know what I want in that person, the position I'm hiring for. I already know what I want. I already know the integrity that I'm looking for. I already know the style of leadership that I'm looking for. That's the only thing I'm thinking if I can get that out of you. And besides, Amy, you're talking about this, right? Yeah, I'm not a soothsayer to know how that person is going to look down the road, all right?
Thank you.
Right? okay, wait now. I'm not no soothsayer, but I give you scenario. I give you like you know, like real-time decision-making probabilities, right? I ask you in X, Y, and Z situation, what did you do? Your response to those things will give me so much insight into the kind of person I'm bringing into
Stop question and answer.
Wait now. No, I'm just telling you. You don't have to be a soothsayer to look into the future. You don't have to be outside to know the person. But the person responds to a scenario, right? Will give you an insight, the way they will handle that situation. Let's say two of your subordinates had a fight. How did you resolve that situation? The way that person went on, that's how you come with a decision. I mean, let me tell you this. I've been hiring. Hold on, wait. I've been hiring.
Let me ask you a question before you continue.
Yeah, ask me a question. Go ahead.
What went down over there? President Bwaga hiring somebody, and he asked that question. You expect them to say if they are the same, because I think that's the same thing that started going on. You think that person would say in front of President Bwaga and tell them, say, "Oh, I will not take that nonsense. Me by the pill, yeah, I will not take it."
Amy,
damn good. Like they did that because they won the job, like anybody would do.
Okay, Amy, everybody will do that. Everybody, like you roughly stated, right? You study for an interview, right?
Yeah.
Right. You anticipate certain questions that you might be asked, right? You try to rehearse and all that stuff. You try to rehearse and all that stuff. I get all
by
that.
yourself.
But I'm telling you exactly
you
what,
this job.
right?
You
But I'm telling you, all the questions that you be going over and rehearsing and stuff. Majority might not even come, right? You might not even ask a question.
Somebody else, yeah.
Right? But you just preparing yourself just in case. But I'm telling you this, and Morris brought up a point that kind of buttressed by George. It took the president 6 months to come up with the replacement. You telling me in 6 months time, Amy? I mean, it don't even matter how long that 6 months. That is a long time for you to really come up with somebody solid.
So how do we know the president was not looking for somebody solid in that 6 months?
Well, we know now that the president did not find somebody solid because he just got rid of the president.
Okay.
Exactly.
So,
that is a problem.
Because he took 6 months, so he's not living. The president don't know exactly
now
what the person giving.
Now he's still bringing the scene lady the president. Amy, you have to admit that they got it wrong.
Everybody that was coming in front of him were not giving a blunder answer to the question.
Amy, you can't take 6 months to hire somebody and fire the president in less than a year. That is a problem.
I'm gonna tell 1 year if I'm not.
That is a problem, though. That is a problem. It can't take you 6 months to hire somebody, then fire the president in less than a year. That is a leadership problem that you have.
I will take if it takes me a year. As long as agency it's a difficult place and it needs something. If I'm not getting what I want, yes, it will take the person that. How do you know that's not what was going on? Y'all just want to come in and just cast blame, but y'all don't know the full story. How do you know that's not what was going on? And because he brought somebody there, the person he found out, he think the person gets something, the person came and blunder. So he's trying to say, oh, because they will bash at me, so let me just keep the person there. No. If the person can do that job, get rid of them. I don't see any problem with that.
That is a problem. That is a problem. You don't have a problem with that. You don't have a problem with that. You don't have a problem with that. But you know what? The lives of LeBron that's been lost in the streets, people have a problem with that.
So you rather that person stay there and be passing drugs and get with something that will stop the LeBron
it shows that there is absolutely a due diligence not being done. A due diligence not being done. It shows that a due diligence not being done in a hiring process. It shows that people are actually being recommended to the president for hiring based on
the culture in Liberia.
Based on, and besides, let me on before Morris come, right? You also said that these people are being approved by the Senate. I'll tell you how the Senate works, right? How the approval work. The president recommend an individual to the Senate for approval, right? The president already have his fan club in the Senate.
Oh, now you want to bring it to
But that's what it is.
So who fault is that?
What? The president got hold on, wait up. The president recommends someone for hiring, and the president got his support base in the Senate. It's a miracle here, right? When the Democrat have majority in a House or in the Senate, guess what? Whatever confirmation that goes through, if that president is a Democrat nominee, it goes through faster than a lightning bolt.
So they don't interview the person? Just because it will go through, that doesn't mean the person can just think
they interview the person,
and then they go to the person. No, they will make sure that the person is competent for that position.
Majority of the time, it's just for formality.
Morris.
It's just formality. As long as you got majority in the House, in the Senate, that whole hearing process is just formality, because at the end of the day, you're still going to be confirmed anyway.
Okay.
You know, for me, I don't see the connection here about the regular job interview. The brother making reference to everybody making reference to the regular job interview. When you go for job interview, this and that, we all know that when you go job interview, it's quite different. I can go to a job right now. They don't know me. They don't know me for anywhere. I just apply, probably put my CV on the table. They look at it probably for whatever reason they hire me, or they decide not to hire me, or they choose somebody else.
Right.
But yeah, political appointment is quite different from just a regular job interview, the regular job, searching for job. That's why we voted for a president. We voted for the president to scout the best black minds to help the president. That's the reason why we vote for the president, to look for among the millions of Liberians, the people that he feel comfortable with, the people that he feel that can better help him to do the job. So the political appointment is not just a regular, job interview, stuff like that. Before the president appoints somebody, the president must know who that person is. If the president doesn't know who that person is, that's the negligence of the president. Or the president team, the scouting team, if you don't know who that person is.
I was just about to ask you. But go ahead. Thank you. You brought it up.
Right. Of the scouting team that helping the president. Because nobody expects the president to know the 2,000 persons that he employed. No.
I was just about to say that. Thank you.
And nobody.
Lord bless you. No. I can't have you 50 cents.
Thank you.
We are
Nobody expect the president to know the 2,000 persons the president appoint and stuff like that. But we as a citizen, we have the right to question the president when you appoint somebody, and if the person perform poorly, we got a question. And we also got the right to question the president's appointment to these various positions. Right? Because before you appoint somebody, that's why sometimes the president appoints somebody nobody even know about, because of the confidence the president got in that person. The president feel that the person, I can put my name on the table for the president can better do the work. But rationally, people are not even supposed to get denied when they go for confirmation. Because if the president truly know who you appoint for this position, the person goes to the Senate, where the political interest, the person is supposed to be denied. So what we are saying here is that if the president, especially the era of DEA, the president, everybody was okay when you appoint AB, because we all, the society know AB. And the president probably planned to appoint AB. When you remove AB from that position, it took 6 months. And I don't even know why he decided to sack AB. Why he decided to sack everybody? I don't even know the reason. Yeah, why he decided to sack everybody from the place. I don't even know whatever reason. For me, I felt that he was trying to please the public. Okay, if he decided to sack everybody from the place, okay, you brought people that nobody even know about them. And now you sack those people and you bring people from the police. You bringing people from the police. The police itself, the police itself has its own narcotic, group area where they're supposed to fight drugs. The police has its own department that fight drugs. They handle the narcotics, something. They're supposed to help. Police people can arrest drugs. It's not only the DAA. They got a secretary right to appoint to arrest drugs, to fight drugs. So you see, sometimes just ignorant people can say, "Oh, we see the DA somewhere. What the police doing there?" No, the police has the right to fight drugs, to arrest drugs.
Thank you,
What we are,
Morris.
yeah. So when you make this kind of appointment, the citizen have the right to question, especially in certain key areas. Certain key appointment, we expect high. So that is our argument here. The DAA is a serious error. You don't just bring anybody, you just put in there. Tomorrow you sack them. The after tomorrow you bring somebody else. So that's just our argument.
Yeah,
so the
I
connection
know,
you're
but
making with this stuff.
I understand what you're saying, Morris.
Right.
Nobody's saying that you shouldn't question the appointees or whatever. That's not what I'm saying, though. But my thing is, when I hear somebody saying that because the person not performing, you fire the person, then I mean something wrong with you. That's what I'm not getting.
No, that's not what we're saying. We gotta bring in
because you brought one person, you fire that person, you brought another one, you fire that one, then I mean you're not doing your job.
No, we don't have problem with the president.
That's what I'm hearing. It's no good, Morris. Just brought it out. In every administration, you have the president has a team that does the vetting process. The president is not sitting with everybody to do the vetting thing. The president has a team that doing these things in these United States. That's how it works as well. Okay.
Yep.
So for us to be saying it and say that, and the only time I always say on this show and when we're on Spoon and all the women, the only time we have problem with Joseph Yuma Boakai.
So now you got no problem. So now you got no problem with him.
I don't have problem with him in this situation. If somebody sitting on the show, right? I mean,
right.
Let me talk about show. If somebody in a position, right, George, and they're blundering, they're being corrupt, they're not doing the job. Like how we've seen all the hearing all the audio tape and something, and the president never took any action to fire anybody, to send anybody. I would have a problem with him.
And I see, and there where I disagree with you.
There where I would have a problem, but he firing the president to remove them from there, of course.
There where I disagree with you.
He knows what's going on. He knows what they're doing is wrong, and he's trying to find a right person to put in there. There's nothing wrong with that to me, because we're talking about there's nothing wrong about the people are dying. Look what's going on, because they're not doing anything. That's why people are dying, and that's why he that's why they're coming in, and that's why he tried to take them from there to find the right person. So how can you come out and say that it's a problem because he's firing people?
People are not going to be dying. That's when the president that people are dying.
They vetted these people. They said they were competent. They sent it to the Senate. They confirmed them. They got that they're not doing the job. The president has the right to fire them. He's supposed to fire them. It doesn't matter what, 10 times he's supposed to fire them if they're not doing that job.
Amy, nobody is arguing.
To read somebody's mind, or to know that somebody will perform right, or to know what the person is saying. And like you said, the question they asked, if you're insubordinate, or if your subordinate do this to you, what will you do? You think from what just happened, what they seen, the other people got fired, you think they will sit there and say, oh yeah, we will fall. We'll do the one. No, they will say, I will do the right thing. This is what will happen. When you go to a job, they're removing a supervisor. You getting interview for that job. Everything that wrong, do you think you'll go and echo that you will do those things when the supervisor was doing that and getting rid of him? Absolutely not. You'll make yourself look good that you're the superstar for that job. And so it's left for you now to go prove yourself when you get there. And if you don't perform, they fire you. There's nothing wrong with that. If they keep you on there and you damage the people company, that's where the problem comes in.
Amy, nobody is saying that the president, I'm not, my argument is not based on the fact that the president swerve maneuvering to fire people that have problem with that. I don't have problem with that. And you saying you wouldn't have problem with the president when the president failed to fire people.
Yeah.
Right?
They're not doing the right thing.
Okay, great. And that in itself is a problem, right? And it's not a problem because if the president failed to fire people though. But I'm talking about we shouldn't even get to that position of firing, right? If you do your due diligence in bringing the right people in to a position that is as crucial.
The president
team told him that this person is right for the job. They did that. What do you want the president to say? No, let me do it myself.
Let me get to Morris. Morris, you saying that it is impossible for the president to know 2,000 employees of the government? I agree with you, right? But it is absolutely should not be impossible for the president to know government and government institutional heads. Okay, like that's the reason why when the president having this meeting with the institutional heads, he don't bring the entire 1,000 or 2,000 employees.
So what's the point? What's the point?
The point is, the president might not know everybody that's being employed in government because some of the employment is not being done by the president. But the individual in which we're having a conversation with right now, the president has every knowledge in that president hiring. That's the difference. So that person is not part of the 2,000 people you're talking about over there.
The president has every knowledge in who's hiring.
This is a head of an agency. Okay? So you guys should not try to
the president have a vetting team.
Do not narrow it. Even the president have a vetting team. The president have a vetting team, and every institution have vetting team.
Yes.
Okay?
So he's not hiring those people. People vet them in that position, right?
No, but Tura, I think he's sleeping a little bit though.
No. The president have a vetting team.
Sleeping
no, but no, I'm not. Look, like I don't drink liquor. I'm very sober. Let me say this. I'm not sleeping. I just want you guys to understand because Maurice, you came with the 2,000 president. It's impossible for the president to know all the 2,000. I want to draw you back into that. We're not just talking about someone a layman down the line being employed in government. We're talking about head of an agency.
The head and the deputy.
Okay. Yeah. Head of an agency, not just any agency, or agency that is so crucial. Or agency that is an existential threat.
It doesn't matter to read the vetting team. The vetting team
that's the thing you fail to realize, Amy. You making a DA situation seem to be something. No. This thing is an existential threat. People are dying. People are losing their children.
Let me ask you a question.
People are losing their children. So the decision to put over there, it should be vetted. You have to put the right point position. Because every single day you do the wrong decision to hire some kind of flabbergasted person, somebody's child is dying.
Let me ask you a question.
To restart being emotional, my man.
I'm being emotional because I'm being emotional because this is an emotional employment that the president needs to get it right.
We all care about the drugs issue in our country, but
the president needs to get it right.
Come here and try to make it look like the president something. But let me ask you a question. So you mean to tell me that a head of agriculture, head of what public work, everything else, you had a vetting team doing them, but the drugs, the president said, y'all give it to me. I mean, be the one to vet that person. Is that what you're telling us?
Amy, please send it.
But you said the president had every right the president had every something in this hiring something. That's what you said. But every other person, the president did not. So you're telling us that under the drug agency, the president himself hired this person. The vetting team did not do that.
Did I say anything in that life?
You said the president had all something knowledge in this person. Isn't that what you said, Morris?
I said when it comes to do with government agency head.
Yeah, but no, but what you said, though.
Right?
That's what you said.
But that okay.
The president himself did not.
I said, hold on, wait. I said, like I said, I'm ready. I'm not going anywhere. Let me read.
We need to have a rewind here.
What I said, no. Like I said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm ready. I said, when it comes to do with government and institutional heads, it is absolutely inconceivable to me that the president will not have an insight into the hiring process of that individual.
That's not what you said.
Like you see.
No, but
all right, guys, let me
Morris right here, but anybody just come in. Just come in.
Let me come in.
That's what I said. I said Morris should not make that decision on the 2,000 employees. That's what I said. Come on, Amy, I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. I said the 2,000 employees should not.
Rewind to right to that part that when we finish, so you can watch it.
Okay, guys.
Then when you call me, I apologize.
I agree with you. That what you said, that what you said. I agree with you. They will not.
Morris there. Morris right there.
The conversation now is twisting and training. Now we are not blaming the president for appointing incompetent people, but we are blaming the people.
Well,
yesterday, George Weah appointed incompetent people who did not graduate from high school. But now, when the president appoints incompetent people, we say that the vetting team they made a mistake. That they people all put that they put recommending the people. We blame everybody else but the president. And that's the problem with us Liberians. When we for you, everything will not be you. When we not for you, everything wrong that you. but Liberia will learn the hard way. Because the same thing happened, it happened at the Commerce Ministry under the CDC government when Wilson Tapper and the Omar go into confusion. I forget her name, sir. They got in that confusion. President Weah reassigned the two of them. President Bouaka dismissed the two people, right? It took 6 months for him to come up with that decision. People lives are in limbo. That how the drugs increase exponentially into the society, and now it's killing people. But now we cannot blame the president for that, for waiting for the thing he said that emergency, for waiting for 6 months, half a year, for him to make one decision, and even the decision, it went to the wrong area again. The people started being corrupt. They started doing everything that they wanted to do. But again, we can't blame him again. No, that ain't the problem. That the people he appointed are the problem. Yesterday, that George Weah appointed incompetent people. George Weah was incompetent.
All right.
Today, Bouaka is not incompetent, but the people that he bringing are incompetent.
Okay, so
listen.
Yeah.
So Josh, let me ask you a question.
No, let me just. I mean, if you ask George, you're gonna be.
Great point, George. Great point.
So this is what we always say. Yesterday, why we always bring George.
Let me finish, Mama. Let me finish. I come and go. Let me finish.
No, but you see,
you need to hear this. You need to hear this. You can go.
No, but you can't get to. You can't get to and lead. You can't get to and lead the show. That's why I wanted to actually come in.
Let me say that and ask you a question. You said that you're always saying that we always bringing George Weah up and he's not something because you're always bringing him up too. That's why we respond to you. George Weah, you're talking about George Weah. We were having problem with George Weah. George Weah never fired anybody when they were doing the wrong thing. That's why people are having problem with him. Joseph Bouaka is not doing that. He's firing people. The same people that are saying George Weah were not doing anything. They're sitting here today saying that Joseph Bouaka is firing people. And that's why I brought it up. So it's not the same thing that anybody was saying about George Weah. So if you want to bring George Weah out, bring it out in the right way. So don't say, oh, somebody said George Weah was something. No, George Weah had a vetting team as well. But George Weah sat there. These people were incompetent. They were doing the wrong thing. He sat there and kept them there for the 6 years without anything being done. And you just heard me say it. That's when I would have a problem with Joseph Yuma Bouaka. If somebody is doing the wrong thing and he's not removing them from that post. That's what I said. So don't come here and make somebody seem like
before removal that is appointment. We said George Weah appointed incompetent people and it was on him. He appointed incompetent people. That's what we say about George Weah. So
you want me to we?
Before the Liberian people now, they put a voter against George Weah.
You say we. Because I'm saying here talking like that, but I'm talking to you and you say we. So I see you.
All right, y'all, Isa, y'all say President
I did. No, but let me come in now. You see, look, Josh, the difference between you and us, right? The difference between you and us, when we see what in our conviction that is wrong, we'll condemn it. That is just the difference between us and you. You see us sitting down here, you put George Weah and Bouaka today. Bouaka sleeping. George Weah jogging. I would take Bouaka over George Weah. But when it go wrong, I will say it. Mama, let me say my own. Mama, let me just say my own, brother. Yeah, but brother, let me say my own, mama. Mama, you were talking. You were talking. I was listening to you. The difference between we and you guys.
I'm finished. You interrupted me. Then you said I'm listening to you.
But you're not finished. I said on here you were talking. You said you're not finished.
No, I'm not finished. You interrupted me.
Joe, you learn it, but go ahead, Lane your thoughts.
Yeah, the thing is that, we as Liberians, Liberia is the only country that will never be deported from.
Yes, that's actually I'm sick and tired of it.
We should treat our country. Good.
I thought you about to go home before you join up.
We should. Our conscience.
Yeah, I know, right?
Our conscience should tell us.
When Jonathan about to start doing closing, you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're almost after 12.
Mm-hmm. About to start doing closing before you show up. You finish sleeping now, eh? Go ahead, Josh. Finish.
Yeah, our conscience should tell us that what is good for John is good for Paul. Yesterday, when incompetence existed in the government, we blame the president. today when incompetent in the government, now the yardstick now for good governance in our country now is when you fire people, you good president. When you not fire people, you bad president. That's the difference. So,
Absolutely.
Georgia did not fire people, so you are bad president. President Bouaka bring incompetent people when you fire them. Hey, a good president, because you bring incompetent people. You brought bad people, they will tell you good.
Thank you.
You brought bad people. You brought bad people who not good for us.
All right.
The drug killing of people, when you take it from us, I will say you good person, we start here.
The judge were in the country, judge we are not firing people. That's why the judge is the way it is right now.
It's okay for me.
Thank you. Judge, we are not firing people. That's what the judge is the way it is now.
So,
You heard a
yeah,
tip that the
no
judge,
problem.
the DEA boss were bringing drugs from Grand G there, telling people to bring a strong one to him. All of the one the judge we are left in there. That's why the judge is the way it is now in Balogun Bouaka administration. That was the incompetent. That was the problem that George Weah had. That some of us, me, talk about. Not because I did not say he single-handedly appointed anybody. Go ahead, Morris.
Yeah, look, I will say this again. The difference between we and the other people, the judge, the likes of the judge and the other people, for us, we did not support Bouaka just because the love we got for Bouaka. No, we supported Bouaka because we want the best for the country. That's why we support Bouaka. We think
when we asking for a lane right now.
Yeah. When we see things go wrong, we will come and criticize Bouaka. That in no way mean somebody judge we are better than Bouaka. No, that's not our argument. That's the difference. For them, they don't see nothing wrong with we are for the 6 years. In terms of he talk about Winston Tape, President we are did not sack them. What happened is that because of the disagreement, Jimama Wolokoli, I think Deputy Minister Jimama Wolokoli criticized the CDC government. That's how they fired. If they fired Jimama Wolokoli and they transfer Winston Tape to EPA or wherever they transfer him. So it's not even the same. It's not even the same. What we are saying here is that President Bouaka should take aggressive actions, especially in this area like drugs. Look, I don't even have a problem with firing. You can hire today, tomorrow you fire. I don't have a problem as long as you in search of the right person. That is perfect. In terms we didn't even care. We didn't even care. He didn't even care what happening. Who goes wrong? What happened? He didn't even care.
That's the trouble we're in today.
Exactly. And my brother Toure, the way these things work, sometimes the president appoint the head. Most time the president tell the head to look for somebody as an assistant or deputy. In most time, how it work. The president just say, you know what? Look for your assistant, look for your deputy. I will appoint the president because the president has the appointing power in most times to hire people because the president wants somebody, the minister or the director, to have the deputy director that will work along with them. So in most cases, so that happened. Like the president did not know Fadigat into, so to speak. He appointed AB, and AB bring everywhere that happened. So when this is happening, the president is a human being. The people that you appointed are human being. I'm not saying that the president is supposed to know. Human being can change. My argument here is that when somebody do wrong, you take them for them, you bring them. I don't care. You can hire somebody today, fire them tomorrow. So that's not issue. My only problem have the DEA. The president have not handled the DEA with that aggressiveness. You cannot fire somebody. It took 6 months. The brother who they appointed in that position as acting.
I will give you that. Yeah, it took long enough.
The guy who they appointed in that position, that's somebody I know. The guy that was acting in 6 months. This is somebody that will all work to the embassy by then. Christopher Peters. When I appointed the guy, I'm like, it took 6 months, especially in the serious area like that, like the DEA. For me, the people that were advising the president, I think they did not do the president well.
That's you gone.
Yeah, I think we need to wrap up. We need to wrap at 12. I think I don't even have much to say. We can just wrap up. If Ture can come on and say what you want to say, you guys, I really don't have much to say.
Are you eating back there?
Morris, no, I'm not eating. I'll get my clothes from the dry. But look, at the end of the day, let me say this.
You got love.
Leadership. Leadership.
You got love.
Leadership is
every time I put up, I keep mad for you. You got 4.3 for him now. You make it.
No. Leadership is something that is absolutely it's tedious. It's meticulous. It's calculation based, right? Morris.
Yes, sir.
I am not in any way accusing the president for not doing the right thing in terms of, I mean, I might have problem with the process, but in terms of the ultimate decision, like firing, I don't have problem with the president. Have fired people, a lot of people in his government. That is a good thing. That is area that we expected that the president will do, right? But the time it takes, these are some of the stuff that we have problem with. At least I have problem with, right? And the idea that it would take somebody 6 months, and this is something where I even actually kind of where our detachment actually is, right?
No, I actually agree with Morris about
if
that.
If you're gonna take that length of time for an agency that is as crucial, because there is life and death at stake. You know what I mean? You can't. This is not the Ministry of Health. This is not the Ministry of Agriculture. This area needs a vigorous, with absolute intentionality when it comes to putting somebody there. Because every day there's somebody dying. The day we don't make decisions, somebody is dying, somebody is dying, somebody is dying, somebody is dying, right? So we expect that area, the approach to naming somebody there, Amy, it has to be very, very, like, I'm talking about interrogated. The person should know exactly what they're doing. The person should be a recommendation that coming from places that they have a footprint of professionalism. They have
just interviewing
integrity.
here for them last night.
They have impeccable integrity, right, to serve that position. Okay, that's how it should take you that long to come up with somebody. But when it takes you that long to come up with somebody, we need to fire that president in less than a year.
But
You know what I mean?
Terrell, do you know how long it takes here to hire a border officer, something, or a drug enforcement officer in these United States? Just because they're vetting them?
Well, I know it takes long. It takes a very long time. And that's
yeah,
why some of them, right? And that's why some of them stay in office until they retire.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So we're talking about 6 months and we're crying.
Yeah,
what
but
we're
because
supposed to be finding somebody competent, because the drug business is crucial. 6 months, and we have everybody switching here. They know who they're bringing the drug. They do all of this. To find somebody between that right there to say which one is the rock shining more than all the other rocks. Don't you think it's impossible? That's why I said last night that they should leave that group over there and look outside now, because outside these people have their own thing going. I don't think there would be that. They don't have nothing to do with those cartel over there. There would be more of something now than people in the system there.
Yeah, let
they got on. Let it come on.
Yeah,
Tata,
hello.
Nicole, rapping.
Tata dropping around.
Something and close. Say I'm closing your hello and I'm closing that.
Yes.
Good morning. Good morning. You know, yeah. Let me just do the closing. Anyway, just thank you for the opportunity given me. Yeah. You know, the politics in this country is somehow difficult. But the one thing I can tell some people that when last Joe we have fired someone for corruption leader, for other person, maybe allegation against the person, even the McGill, even McGill, when that allegation came on him with us, or not even allegation with us on the sanction McGill refused to resign. At the end of the day, he was forced. Now it was just something that they were forced. But McGill having that opportunity, they security behind him on the 2023 election. Right after the 2023 election, that the time the EPA, the security that were behind me during the time he was Minister of State, that during the time after the election, that was the time they took the security behind him. So if I even hear some people arguing that we are not bagging Joe Bwagga, if Joe Bwagga do wrong, we'll come up and say it. But it's not something that will say, oh, people will come and say, oh, when it good for you today, it will not good for John Bryan, not good to know. We are not saying that. We are only saying that if Joe Baka do wrong, we'll say it. If Joe Weah does wrong in the past, it doesn't mean that we'll not say it because Joe Baka doing good or he doing bad. No, we just have to say it to balance the equation. So thank you very much for the show. Let's
that's what's going on here into this. Something everybody want balance equation. I will balance the equation where it needs to be balanced. Okay. So this is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying anybody should come in and not say some appointment there. Of course, we question this. People that know these people there, I don't know most of the people there, so I don't really know. But people that know them, they question these things, and they have the right to do it, right? I don't want to criticize President Bouakai fairly. In the same way, the people don't know me. They just saw me 2023 campaigning against George Weah, but they don't know the way I was supporting Weah. I did not support him to win election, but after he won the election, I was rooting for him to succeed. I said, okay, this is what Liberian Board won. I heard George Weah won. Let him give him the chance to something. Maybe he will do better. I was actually thinking George Weah was going to do something like President Samuel Kando. Not the bad part of him, but the good things that he did, right? But then he twisted everybody's arms and failed us. Now, because I criticized something like George Weah did not fire people, everybody saw corruption. They saw these people doing this. They started and it was walking in the street with steroids. This man never did anything. He ignored the people. Even when what's the acronym for corruption? Something again? Help me out. What's the corruption? The inter something government agents
RNPC.
The GSC.
The GSC.
Yeah, GSC and anti-corruption something that all the one. Even when they come out a report, Judge Weah ignored. Is that the final verdict? All nonsense. He never did anything, right? Then because Joe Bouakai firing somebody should come and stay and say, oh, because we said Joe when President Bouakai did it. No. I'm not. If I'm gonna compare President Bouakai and President Weah, I'm gonna be fair and balanced. I don't care what anybody says or call me. You don't know what I said about that situation. Don't come here because you heard somebody else saying it and you say, oh, y'all used to say it. No. That's why I said we used to say, no, who the we? Who the y'all? Give me a tip, give me a recording when you saw me say something like that about judgment. I would never say here and say President Weah hired those people. He had a vetting team. This thing with how every administration does. They have vetting team. Where I hold you something when that person is not performing, if they're doing the wrong thing, you have to fire them. If you want your administration to be better, if you want to do something right for the people, you're supposed to get on it, investigate them, fire them, and do that. But if you're not doing any of that, people just and the area keep going down and keep going down. This is what President Bouakai is in this mess that he in every crazy freaking area in the government, because everybody was there doing our own thing. Look at when they talk over Toure. We start cleaning our campaign. Look how dirty those ministers were. In the face, then grass everywhere. Dirty, no human being was sitting in those buildings. I don't even know if they were going to work. Is that something so competent or so many people that are supposed to be there working? You're supposed to keep them there for 6 years? This is what I'm saying. President Bouakai, if he doesn't take action, if President Bouakai sees drop people 14, 24/7 while just entering the country left and right, and he's not doing anything about it, I'll say, yeah, they're probably not serious about 14 jobs because he knows these people not doing nothing. We're hearing audio saying that they're involved in all of that, and he's not taking any action. He's not serious. This is where I would have my disappointment. But when he hear about it, like I said, the last time we were talking about it, you said he should have been swift, he should have fired already. I said, no, maybe he haven't heard about it. He got to join myself already that here the last time. And what happened when he did? He got rid of everybody from there. So I want to be fair when I'm criticizing him because I know the kind of damage that he's dealing with. And I know how people are there. They got some leech and monster in there too, thinking that because he's old, because he's slow, they want to take advantage of that. So they're not telling him everything that but once he hear it, he's taking action. That's one thing I know and I've seen about him. You have these monsters, they're all over there. They're all under there. They want to take advantage of him. The people is slow. The people can see. The people can hear. The people will not hear. They won't hear. They are there. But once we get to hear it, he does what he needs to do. So I don't have a problem with that. If he's not doing anything at all, it's where my problem comes in here. And I think he needs to vet people for this. in that area to put the before he put it in. I think he needs to get people outside of that place now. From what we have seen, it's very, very difficult to find somebody in that place that are not involved with the whole drugs issue. That would not be some hands somewhere hanging someone. No, it's very, very, very something. He needs somebody from outside it. And with that, I recommend Momo to the. We interviewed Momo here last night for that job. Yo, not here.
Why every time you call the man, he be laughing?
I was following you guys, but I had some fundamental problem with. I had some fundamental problem with recommendation with some of the recommendation he was making. I followed you guys last night, but I just I was watching last night, but I just couldn't. I just didn't want it to join. Huh?
You know, if you closing, I said of course. But Martin, go tell your problem in the back.
No, but it's all right, man. I mean, it's late. Yeah, all right. After what time are you in there?
Good night, y'all.
What is your love?
Thank you. Not yo.
Good night, buddy.
Thank you, y'all. I just did Vasco.
Good morning to you.
Emmy,
Good night.
You see, there's some of the things like
good morning.
in the back. Yeah, thank you everyone for following us. Thank you for watching, for being here with us tonight. And God's willing, we'll see you Monday. Tomorrow is Sunday. Oh, we have a 3 days weekend, right?
Yeah, Monday is Labor Day.
Monday is Labor Day. If there's no coca, you'll see us. If we have coca,
You coming?
So thank you for watching.
I'm definitely
Thank you. Keep sharing the show. Keep sharing it. Subscribe, please, and continue to follow us as we make this work. Thank you, and we'll talk
Amy, you're welcome to my coca.
God's willing.